Yes, people, and welcome back to another edition of Spurs Kings TV with your boy Ashmatic, going through some of the transfer rumors and some of the latest news from Spurs. Today, I've got Mr. Box Office TV, and we're just going to little chop it up, man. We're just going to chop it up and see how we move, man. But big yourselves up at home if you're watching live or if you're watching later on the playback. If you're watching on your phone, YouTube, please make sure you hit that like button as well, man. It helps us get seen as well. So yeah, man, I'm just gonna start off with Mr. Box Office. How are you feeling today? How are you, my broski?
Like I said before, and I'll give credit to Dan from the Hotspur Hood, saying Spurs different day, bro. Because I did think that sums it up perfectly, isn't it? Saying Spurs
Wow,
different day, innit?
wow. Big up Eugene in the chat as well, man. Big yourself up each and every time, man. Love for the support, love for the love. Yeah, man. I'm gonna start it straight, man, because at the moment there seems to be almost like a black cloud over Spurs at the moment. A lot of fans aren't happy. There's a bit of a negativity as well on the YouTube community. Um, X, whatever you want to call it, they're not happy. So I'm going to ask you as well, from your opinion, how you see it. At the moment, Ange has come out and he said, previously that we're kind of going for the title, not going for the title. We're pushing. We're going to do a challenge, title challenge, shall I say? And we've brought in so far a few young players, and it looks like he wants more young players coming into the team. So my question to you really is: the future bright for Spurs? Like, we're doing this youth project. What do you think about it?
I just want to give an example right now, yeah? Right? Japhet Tanganga, yeah?
Oh
Japhet
wow!
Tanganga
Oh wow!
was the
Okay.
future, yeah? When he came against Liverpool, he had the best game. He was looked as one of the best players, yeah? Best players, yeah? Going forward, right? He was then went hot and cold, and this was under Mourinho. Yeah. Now, if you had, and we had some actual leaders in the team a little bit. I'll say maybe on and off. I can't remember the team mainly, but if you had like a leader, sort of, someone that was winning, and you had
Wait,
even a winning
Tanganga
manager.
under Mourinho, bro. Sorry to cut you. Tanganga under Mourinho when he.
Yeah. Because that's where he started, isn't it? That's where he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
given his chance, wasn't he?
Right.
Because
Okay.
he
Okay.
wasn't really given his chance under Pochettino. I don't think Pochettino had a chance to do that, didn't he? Really?
Right.
Because
Right.
it really this was going to be his breakthrough season.
Yeah, I remember on the show as well.
Yeah,
He debuted at Liverpool, and
yeah,
Mourinho.
and
Yeah, yeah.
he's had a stop start. But let's look at it like this, yeah. If he was given a, if he had like someone like a winner beside him, you know what I mean, like like a winner beside him, like or someone that he can look up to, right? Do you think he would have been a better player, right, and not been shipped off to Millwall, right, than he is now, basically,
Can I
right?
ask you a question before you go any further? Who was next to Tanganga?
Dyer.
Okay, it wasn't
Um,
Toby. It wasn't Toby.
it was. Yeah, I think Toby was a little. I think Toby was. Yeah, maybe. But
Anyone in the
no,
chat as well? Can you let me know
because I
who
think he
was
was playing. I
next
think he was
to
playing.
Tanganga?
I
The
think he was
first
playing
one.
at right. I think he was playing at right back most of the time, mainly. You know what I mean? And playing at right back and playing in different positions on the fullback positions as well. So what my point is basically is, it's great to have these youngsters at the moment. And yes, I did say middle of the season when we were having all these injuries, I said, yeah, try the youngsters, try the youngsters. Yeah. But having all these youngsters now with no experience, that really has notable experience of actually winning. Yeah, going through the process of actually winning, because it's all right saying, "Oh yeah, I'm feeling enthusiastic. I've got all the skill, I've got all the quality," but we all know through youngsters, only a handful of them make it.
It's
Only
a
a handful of them make it.
it's a fair
Yeah,
point.
and because of that, you can have all the skill, you can have all the quality, but you need to have it up there. Yeah. And how do you have it all up there? Because you're not going to know it all at 18 years old. I don't really care what you think, right? Because all this rubbish that people are saying, oh, he's mature for his age. He's all mature for his age. It's like, no, you haven't learned yet, mate. You haven't lived life yet, mate. You know what I mean? You haven't lived life yet, mate. Until you've lived life, right? You know what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. When you're going through personal things, you have to manage things. You know what I mean? When you've got to, what Foden's going on at the moment with 3 kids. Yeah, that's reality. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when you're going through that, not having your parents to protect you all the time, yeah, or whatever who's protecting you, then you start learning, yeah, and start managing. When you start taking criticism from fans, because that's what you have to manage, fans as well, criticism from fans, criticism from pundits, yeah. And if you can learn that and do that, that's where you have the experienced people beside you saying, "This is what I've gone through, but I got through it, won trophies with it as well." Yeah, we don't have anyone like that. The only people we've got is Moreno, and then we all know Romero's not going to be here next season.
Okay.
We all know that, yeah,
Big up, guys.
because Romero he's already won a Copa Romero twice and a World Cup.
Okay.
You think he's going to be sticking around for a World Cup, sticking around for another season, just doing nothing?
But Alex, I actually like your points. There's some good stuff that I want to piggyback on, but like you can't exclude the winner when you're discussing saying we lack winners. Then there is a winner that you're saying, and now you're like, well, the winner's gonna leave next year anyway. So, but at least we have the winner. Do you know what I mean? So we should embrace the fact that we've got the winner. I hear what you're saying about the youngsters, and the caveat I'd place is that the youngsters are like 6 months older than like halfway through the season. Do you see what I mean? Like some of these kids were actually babies and stuff. So on the one hand, I'm gonna say I think we all see we need attackers, yeah. But I'm also gonna look at it like from the other side and say some of these kids have played better than I think ever. Like even Ange would probably be like, oh shit, like okay, hold on, actually, like do you know what I mean? And like Lange, it's like he's getting an opportunity, and I don't know whether that's impacted our striker search. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if they're like, okay, just hold on a second, yeah, like let's just see what this kid does first, yeah. It could be that we're just being shit, yeah, but it could also be that some of these kids like Mikey Moore, does that dictate now what we do? Like we bring Neto in, this Korean winger looks like potentially he might be coming in. If you're saying the 18-year-olds, you've got to be fair across the board, because if you're saying you want Destiny Do, and you're saying I really want him, and he's recently turned 19, yeah. So he's recently turned 19, but then fans will look at Bergval and Gray and say these 18-year-olds, they're not first team players. They're not going to improve the first team. Do you see what I mean? So I think you've got to be fair on both sides. I think if Spencer's in the squad as well, Moore, Lancashire, Bergval, Gray, like they're young, but you're saying okay, there's like four new options in the squad that weren't here last season, yeah. And we got to look to, like, for me, you got to look at the quality. We need some more quality, and I want to, like a little bit of age, a little bit of experience in the side. I don't necessarily. Winners would be great, but experience in the side. It's a young squad. It's a young team, and I think that you can say, Gray's here to play. Do you know what I mean? Like he's here to play. So
can I add something? I know, sorry to cut you off as well. I just want to throw this caveat in as well, because we're all about, and I know Jay loves this word, nuance. Do you know what I mean? And I know Mr. Box Office likes facts and the truth. And that's why you guys are so brilliant, because you have different debating styles. I think with Mr. Box Office, he likes to see the evidence. before he acts. And that's why he needs a little bit more time, because if you go too soon, you bust your load. You see what I'm trying to say? You go too early. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Whereas you're like
was that noise necessary?
Landro, Picasso, Shakespeare, like ooze me with words. It's not all black and white. I want to see some color in there. I want to see a bit of purple, orange, yellow, because context is key. That matters. When Tanganga was there, who was he playing alongside? Mourinho. Was he a Tanga style player, or was it for the club? Like, because the club's vision compared to Mourinho's vision might have been two different things at the time, because he came from academy. Were they in sync at the time as well? Because we're talking about this particular academy right now.
Yeah.
They've had a year playing the same way as the senior team. That hasn't happened since your boy, Mr. Box Office TV, Pochettino.
Yeah.
And the reason why I brought up Pochettino, because I did hear you earlier on the stream talk about it took you a while before you got into Pochettino. Yeah. And Pochettino, funny enough, he used a lot of youngsters. He did. Did he use a lot of experience? I'm not too sure. I'm going to look back. The experience that he did in 2014 when he first came, because we had, again, a lot of deadwood that he had to shift out, similar to what's happening right now. The team he had, I believe, he had a team of...
It was like Mason and Bentaleb.
But they came in later on. They came in later on.
No, so I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up. I'll find it.
Bentaleb was there before, and he started him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The deadwood. We're talking about the dead.
Yeah. But Bentaleb, and then they had Adebayo, who was a fool.
I'll bring it up. Hold on.
You had who else? You had Vertonghen. You had Fazia.
It's there. I'll read it out for you guys. I'll read it out. So he had Davies left back, Vertonghen centre back, and Krishkles at the back with Lloris.
Did he have Kabul as well?
Kabul was there as well. Yeah. He had Walker at right back. Yeah. Then he had Sandro and Capoue in the midfield in the double pivot. With they got Dembele there, but he wasn't there at the time. I think Paulinho and you're right, Mason was there. I think Mason was there with Bentaleb as well. Yeah. And then Lewis Holby was there. Ericsson was in that midfield. So that was the midfield dynamic. Yeah. Then you had Ericsson and Townsend on the left, and Lamela and Lennon on the right, and Soldado and Adebayor up top. So to be fair, I think what Poch did, he had a bigger job from what Ange is having to do. Do you guys remember where he finished in his first season?
Fifth. Yeah, he finished fifth.
Similar, right? So similar. What's going on now? Some might say he did a
and he got to a cup final as well.
Even some would say he did a better job with that team. But again, I bring on some nuance. The teams that were fighting around that time slightly different. Yeah, the level of competition is slightly different.
Yeah, the league wasn't as strong. It's hard to say the league wasn't as strong, but the quality of side that I feel we face today feels stronger.
I don't think that's the truth.
I think it is. I don't think that's the truth.
Well, let's go through it. At Box Office, you disagree that league wasn't stronger. Let me take this off the screen. What teams were around? Who won that particular season? Does anyone remember who won that season? And what was top four at the time? Who did we lose?
I think Chelsea were strong then.
Right.
I think Man City were up there. I think Man United. It was Mourinho in charge, or was it Van Gaal was in charge?
At Chelsea?
No, at Man United.
At Man United, I'm not too sure. Probably Van.
I don't know if it was Van Gaal or
I'm looking at it. Yeah, so
as well.
Yeah, so yeah, Chelsea won that league. Yeah, City was second.
Yeah, City was second. Arsenal, then Man U were fourth, and then we were fifth. And Liverpool was sixth. Southampton was seventh at the time. So you're looking at the top six, which is still pretty the same. The difference is Chelsea were on top, City was second, Arsenal were third, and Man U were fourth, and Liverpool finished sixth behind us. And now, if you look outside that top six, it was Southampton, which was seventh, Swansea that were eighth, Stoke that were ninth, and Crystal Palace were 10th, and then Everton were 11th, and West Ham were 12th. Now, if you look at today's season, if you look fast forward to what it is now, the last few winners we had was 23-24 was Man City first, Arsenal second, Liverpool third, Villa fourth, Spurs fifth, Chelsea sixth, Newcastle seventh, Man United eighth. Then you've got your West Ham, then you've got your Palace, and then you've got your Brighton, and then 12th. But are you saying
Palace finished in the same place twice?
Yeah. So, where's the box office? Would you say that particular Premier League era is exactly the same, or more or less level competition to what Poch had to deal with?
I think Poch had it tougher, because I think the teams that just finished this last season, I think, other than Man City, Arsenal, and maybe Liverpool to a point, I think you could look at the fourth downwards. It could be anybody's game, even Tottenham's. Even though I don't rate Tottenham at the moment, I think you can look at them, but you can look at all those teams. It's a lottery now, because I don't think at the moment Chelsea are now, I think, in a mess now, because I don't know what's going to happen. But Poch had them cooking, and you never know, if they had what he wanted, they could have moved up a little level. Man United had a bit of a mess of a season last season, let's be honest. But they still saved it with the FA Cup. Newcastle the same, but they saved themselves at the end of the season, got strong at the end of the season. Who else is there? And then Aston Villa have just been the wild card because of Unai Emery. You know what I mean? So I think it's between those teams at the moment, and it's just really just about, we unfortunately didn't take advantage of our great start, even though I think it was just manager bounce. Let's be honest here, for me, because I think we haven't. I don't think we played great football, and that's it. But I think, in that sense, I think we got through because we had only one game a week, and I think that helped us a lot. Let's be honest here. But the other teams, I think, were just mediocre like us, and fortunately for Aston Villa, because of our bad form at the wrong time, they were able to get that fourth spot, and that was it. And that was it for me. But I don't think I'll have to be harsh, maybe. Under Manchester City and Arsenal, no one was really consistent. Liverpool were there because they got enough points. But other than that, I think all the others were very mediocre. I've got to be honest. And that's why I say it was a bang average league in that sense. You know what I mean?
So coming back to the
just on that, yeah, he's nearly there, but he's not going to the point of causation. Yeah, he's there. Oh, everyone beats everyone, but why? Because this is the best era for like data analysis, tactical, and money. Yeah, all these teams have money. They can all invest in their squad to a higher level in a more strategic way than they could back then. And I think that, to me, then culminates in a stronger league. Yeah. And so I hear people like, it might fail the eye test to some people that it's not actually a stronger league. But I'm gonna look at, I'm sure somebody's done some sort of study, or there's some sort of data out there that will support the view that the league's stronger. So I will look this up in a second.
It's interesting. I think it's an interesting point and an interesting debate to have, because like someone put in the comments, it was Eugene saying Villa, West Ham, Forest, even, they're all spending money right now. It's no club, like you said, Jay. Back then, there was I think it was a clearer top four, top six. Like the big six was almost created by Sky Sports, I felt, to kind of market it, get more money in, etc., etc. But I just feel like now it's like, yeah, anyone can almost, loads of clubs are vying for Europe and they're trying to get into that big six. So it makes it even harder for teams that aren't, spending or not, trying to be inventive. They could get left behind. Like us, we could get left behind easily, in my opinion, if we're not careful. because other teams, they've got their recruitments in place. Like Aston Villa, they were taken over by a big owner, and they're going hard. They're going hard, in my opinion. I see that, you know, they put the money in for Europe. They were like 1 minute they were getting relegated almost with Gerrard in charge, and the next minute, you know, Emery takes in charge, and they managed to finish in a place in Europe, and now Champions League. Like, it's crazy. But I wanted to move on to a different point, and the other point I was going to make was, I think 2 years into that project, I think we started to see the fruits of the labor of what Pochettino started to put in. And Alex obviously brought up about experience. You need experience to get over the line. And I think that's what was missing from that particular Spurs squad. But that was probably that time when all Spurs fans felt like, you know.
But he's a good coach as well, Ashmatic. He's a very good coach.
Oh, you can talk about coaches because we've got a new coaching team at the moment, and that's an unknown quantity. So we're going to have to wait and find out what this coaching team brings out. I did hear when I was listening to a few journalists, what they were trying to do with Basuma was, and we could talk about it in a bit about Basuma because he's getting a lot of slack at the moment. But what they were doing with him and other midfield players was they're throwing the ball at the players super fast, super hard, and they're trying to put them under pressure. So, and then also they're getting defenders or other players to run at them to see how they react under high pressure situations, which apparently we haven't done that before, which I think is crazy because I think that's for, like, if you got a 6 there, you kind of need your 6 to be tested in training, and they need to be thinking quick on their feet. They need to take a touch when it's like high at the shins, high at the knee, or it's an awkward bounce. They need to learn how to touch control it and then beat the pressure. And that was one thing I did see against QPR when I saw and I was watching. I was thinking, right, actually, this is the level where I need to see Basuma at. I'm not saying Basuma is going to replicate that throughout the whole season, but I like that the forward thinking is right. That was an area that we need to improve on, and we need to kind of, you know, push Basuma or whoever's that number 6 in that particular area. But I wanted to go back because I'm going to talk about Basuma in later on. But I wanted to go back to the team that was, you know, 2016, 2017. I'm going to get your thoughts in, my broski, Jacob. What did you think about Poch's side and how long it took and the lack of experience he had in that side? And can you see any like comparisons to what we're doing right now?
No, not at all. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, go for it.
Well, hello, everybody. To answer your question, though, Ash, no. I mean, just from the welcome video of Pochettino to Chelsea, he looked like a hostage. He couldn't wait to get out of there. There was no cohesion there at any point. They kind of simulated it and acted like it.
No, I'm talking about. Well, basically, when Poch took over Spurs, he started 5th.
I thought you were talking about Chelsea. I was like, bro, no way.
The team he started with, we showed a bit earlier, and this is the team he basically, which was the prime team, which took him about a year and a half, maybe 2 years to get into. So you've got Kane up top, Dele Alli, Eriksen, Son, Dembele, Wanyama, Rose, Vertonghen, Alderweireld, Walker, and Lloris. And I was asking Alex because he brought up the, you know, we need experience for the youth. At this time, this particular time, you had a lot of players, I would say, that were quite young. They were inexperienced, but then, and obviously, Mr. Box Office has like caveated me and said, you know, you need experienced. Pochettino is a good coach, and that's the difference between him and Ange. And I said, well, he's brought in 2 coaches right now, so it's a bit of an unknown quantity.
This lineup looks stronger than any lineup that Ange can field at any moment.
100%. But what I'm saying is, at the first year, I need to bring back the first year and compare it to what we're dealing with now. I think,
bro, what you were showing me there, bro, Dembele in this midfield. Are you kidding me?
And then, of course, that's the finished article. We're not the finished article yet. And that was 2 years into the project. So my
was that going into his second season, or was that after 2 years were completed?
I think that was 2016, 2017 season, if I'm not mistaken. So 2016, 2017 season. That's the team that we had, and the team
one that we challenged for the league.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. So And I think personally, I know obviously Ange just said, "Oh, we're gonna go for the league this season." I still think it's too soon. Me personally, I'll put it out there. If I'm being honest, obviously I'm trying to make a show, trying to make a little bit of debate, but I'm just saying, raw. For me personally, he needs another season. I need to see these little coaches do their thing. We need players, young players to embed in. And the whole reason why I was asking is the future bright, and I'll just add some sauce to that, man, some flavor, is with the young players. Maybe what Ange is trying to do is the young players, they will kind of run through a brick wall for you. Do you understand? Because they're not being coached by other coaches. They don't have any baggage about the club or the fans. They're coming in brand new. They're coming in fresh. They're going to come in hungry. So he's going to be able to mold them into the players that he wants. Also, with young players, you're going to get legs. You're going to have hunger. You're going to have energy, tenacity. And with Ange's style of play, it's like we don't stop. It's run, run, run. Even if we don't lose, even if we don't have the ball, we lose it and we try to recover it as quickly as possible. With some of the players I've seen, especially with Basuma, is he's lost the ball. He's kind of jogging back. The only person I can see with that profile that has legs before Bergvall and Gray came in is Sarr. Anyone else, I can't see. They don't really have an engine. They don't have legs to cover the ground. So I don't really think they're Ange style players, if that makes sense. But yeah. What do you think, man? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
No, well, I mean, I think in the midfield, in that regard, that's why we're seeing Højbjerg going Giovanni Lo Celso. We've been trying to get him out the door. Who won him? Any takers? Is we're kind of standing on the street corner now with Giovanni Lo Celso. And even Kulusevski, we talked about moving him into the midfield, and now there's rumored to say yes to Napoli for 45 mil or something like that. So, to me, Kulu could do what was aforementioned about Basuma in the regards to the tracking back. I don't know. I just see it like, if I'm honest, I don't really know what the question was exactly, but I'm gonna just speak about what I think about the midfield, because for me personally, I just feel like the whole squad needs a revamp. And you mentioned something about a title charge. Bro, if we have Timo Werner and Brennan Johnson in our starting lineup when we play Leicester, I don't want to hear anybody talk about no title charge. Like, as much as I would love saying the, statistical fact that we all are on 0 points when that season starts. So it is anyone's game. I mean, I guess that's what the manager of, Bournemouth is going to be saying week 1 too. So it's just, for me, I just see it like, we still need help. We still need a lot of help. The only thing I'm secure in is the first 5 names when you read the team sheet, from goalie up. So after that is where it starts getting murky. I like Papa Sarr, but can Lucas Bergvall offer us more in that position? Maybe. Basuma's looking like this preseason anyway, like he wants to be that guy. And if he wants to be that guy, I think he can be. He's shown that he can. It's just consistency. Will he be consistent? And if he's not, then look, we've also got Archie Gray who could come in and play that box-to-box 8. I think that's going to make Basuma a better player overall. Him seeing, we've got these 2 kids, these 2 photogenic kids that the admin loves putting all over the socials, right? They want to play, they did the Q&A on Reddit that said, I'm going to play box-to-box 8, which is what Basuma wants to do. And so to me, I see it as like, all right, Basuma, then show him. Show everybody why you're that dude. Show everybody why I bought a damn 38 Basuma jersey when it came out when we had Conte, because I thought he was going to come in and be that guy. Now, he showed for the first 9 matches. It was really until that chemistry between him and Sarr got broken up in the beginning of the season. Once that happened, I was like, oh, he'll be fine once Sarr comes back. Sarr comes back, then I'm like, oh, well, now he's not going to be all right. Like they're both struggling because Madison's now gone. It's like there's just really hard to gauge any kind of chemistry that we had, because once we saw it, it was taken away bit by bit until we just didn't even, bro, Højbjerg played 36 out of 38 matches last season. That's insane. I don't remember seeing him that many times, but that's crazy to me. And we just barely sold that guy. So, in regards to where we're as a squad, where, Ainge is at with this squad, he hasn't gotten any of the things that he said at the end of the season that he wanted. I mean, we got Timo Werner back, but when Timo Werner was still our player, he said for sure in the summer, we want new attackers. We need to revamp this attack because these guys are some losers. He didn't say that verbatim, but something along those lines. And for me, bro, we have freed up so much weekly wage money that we could afford. We can like legit. Whether he came here or not is a different story. But the financial capabilities of a Nico Williams, that dude hasn't even touched English soil, and he said 300,000 plus, or I ain't even looking at you. You know what I mean? We can actually afford that. I'm not saying I want to pay that wage for a Nico Williams, but I'm saying we can afford that. We can afford two different players at Nico Williams going rate. So I just see it like, what is stopping us? I don't know. My hope is I'm not getting too upset right now because I feel like the window is still open. A lot of shit happens behind closed doors. You know, Archie Gray, we were rumored with him 12 months ago that we liked him. And so that's when I first was paying attention to him at Leeds. And then, you know, it came out in the beginning of this thing. Oh, we were one of the teams looking at him. A couple people looking at him now. Leeds has to sell PSR. Boom, it gets done. And it was, you know, in the past, deals get done in the blink of an eye, or they take an eternity, like Mickey Van de Veen. And if there's legitimate competition coming in for them, i.e., like a Brecci Eze, if City come in, City will get him. They're not going to wait 2-3 weeks while we're on this Japanese tour because we want to save whatever it would cost to fly him in a private jet out to Asia. You know what I'm saying? With Mickey Van de Veen. That's what I'm referencing. So, but again, Mickey Van de Veen also showed you could come in on 3-4 days notice and not look like a fish out of water in the Premier League. So I'm really excited for this season. I'm really excited to see what these young kids can offer. My main gripe right now is, why is Will Lancashire only getting 22 minutes? I need to see 45 minutes of Will before I say let any of these other dudes come on. Because Will Lancashire, Ash, I know you like talking about profiles and stuff. He fits my profile of a striker. Big body bends, baby. I need a big body out there who turn and shoot. You know what I'm saying? His back is the goal. He receives the ball. No momentum, no run up. Just strike that whoo, there it goes. You know, that's what I need in my life. And I feel like Will Lancashire could be that guy. I don't know. He's young, but maybe.
Now, Mr. Box Office, I know you're not a fan of Ange, but I just need some more context, in your opinion, why you don't think Ange Ball or Ange Postecoglou will work at Tottenham on a footballing level. Forget about the fans, because I understand why the fans drive up the wall, they go over the top, etc., etc. And I know you have spoke about him as a coach, and you're like, you don't believe him as a coach, but we already expressed, you know, he's got 2 coaches in that are unknown quantities that nobody knows about really. They could possibly offer something different. But from what you saw last season and the stuff that he had last season, why is it for you, in footballing reasons, why is it that Ange Ball is a no-no?
I'm just not convinced. For me, I thought I was going to see a better coach here, but for me, I'm seeing more of a man manager, like a Harry Redknapp. And with Harry Redknapp, you had coaches under him that helped players really improve individually. And at the moment, I'm not seeing it. I didn't see it last season with the players that we had from Conte's era. I don't like the football we play. I think it's boring. I think it's good in moments. I think it's moments, definitely. Yes, it gives you a bit of a buzz, a little bit but it's very fast paced, I think, and if you blink, you miss it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't like the fact that he keeps on playing certain players. Like, he used to play Emerson all the time, which was annoying. I think the system that he plays, I don't think it works for the players that we've got. I think Dan absolutely spot on that for the Hotspur hood, that we need to play a 3 at the back. I think actually the Conte system fits it better at the moment than what we're doing at the moment. And if you're going to do that, you need players that actually, working around that as well, dribblers. And maybe you have got dribblers in the players that we bought in, but I'm yet to be convinced that he's going to make them. They'll play well. I think they'll do okay, but whether they will improve, I don't know whether his coaching staff are good enough. Even though the guy that came from Abergian, I've heard that there is a little bit of evidence that he has got a little bit. He's got a coaching background to make players better, but we have to see next season, and we'll see during this pre-season tour whether he'll be able to do that. But just in the main, I think the fans. I'm not looking at people like Jacob because Jacob is not. He's been very respectful, and other people who love Ange, certain people that I've spoken to, but I'm just not convinced, and I think because of the huge focus right now because of social media and everything else around it, and when I wasn't sure about Pochettino, I wasn't sure about Villas-Boas as well, to be honest with you. When he came in as well, I wasn't sure about him, but he convinced me because of Gareth Bale. Let's be honest here.
Mm.
And the way
that was the tactics.
that was it, and the way that he got certain things going, I think that got me on board. You know what I mean? But I think because of the heightness and everything else, and because so many people are, I think Tottenham fans are really do get.
I know. I was just saying without just some terms. I know they get you rattled. Not rattled, but they grind your gears.
On the football, I'll keep on topic. But my point is that I just don't. I just don't see it. You know what I mean? I think
the reason why I brought it up, and I sorry to cut you off again because I did hear your point about Dan Hotspur the Hood and playing two at the back. Playing fullbacks inverted, and there was spaces being opened up and us being.
And there's so much, and also the whole thing with being inverted. I don't think it helps.
Let me address that right now. So I've got a little video here, and basically, I don't know why the sound's on. So basically, you can see the shape. It's two at the back, Mickey van der Ven, Romero. You've got Basuma, the doggy as a left back, and you've got Sarr. That's the three, right? So we're playing a 2-3 shape. That's what I call it, a 2-3. What Dan wants, and also I've said it as well, and Marlon, basically he wants a 3-2 shape where we've got two in the midfield, and that the doggy who's the fullback in that yellow that you can see, he joins them there. So you form a back three, and then you've got the two in the midfield. Why is Ange gone for a 2-3? Now I'll show you my theory. I think the reason why he's gone for a 2-3 is because when we're in possession, we create little diamonds, little triangles here. I don't know if you can see, there's a little triangle between Mickey van der Ven, Basuma, and Udogie. And on the other side is Romero, Mickey van der Ven, Basuma, and then there's Sarr, Basuma, Romero.
Yeah, there's like 6 different combinations.
There's so many different combinations. Yeah. But that's us in possession. I think when we're out of possession, because I think that's where the argument is, I think Sarr's job is to press before it gets to Romero or Mickey van der Ven that's had to cover us a lot of times with his recovery pace. So Sarr's job is to become that almost first line of defense. Obviously, you've got the front five. That's basically our first line of defense because they press. But I think Sarr's there to win the ball back, and then you've got a doggy also there as another line of defense to win the ball back, to stop those players to getting into those channels. So I think it was down to those players learning the system a little bit better because it was a new season. There was a few teething problems. And I think on the ball, in the first 10 games, they were getting it. No one knew what we were doing. So it was a surprise. And then obviously, as teams did their homework and their due diligence, they started figuring out. And then it was down to the players that we had as the free. It's not just down to Basuma because everyone's trashing, Basuma, he's not doing this, but he's only one man. I think the midfield in the free as a collective, whoever that is, because sometimes it's not the doggy, sometimes, as you said, the doggy's inverted, he's slightly higher up. Sometimes it's Maddison. So whoever's in that position, they need to be helping Basuma do recovery runs and track us back. And next season, I have a feeling we're going to have someone different in this free, in my opinion. I'm not too sure. But I'm just going to quickly show you the build-up here. Mickey van der Ven plays it into Romero, into Basuma. This is by Liverpool, by the way. You can see how Romero is trying to draw the press by slowing it down. Basuma drops in the hole there, gets the ball, and then his first time passing to Sarr, and he's out of that press, the two press that Liverpool are trying to deploy. They try to wait, and then try to do like a mid-block for us to set a trap. Basuma plays it first time, it goes into Sarr. Sarr plays it back, which was a bit dodgy, but Basuma manages to deal with it, gets into Sarr, and that's what beats the press. And these things, I'm thinking, raw. I don't know, are fans seeing this part of the build-up? Are they understanding the different nuances and how we build up? I think with Ange Ball, he likes to build up quick, fast. That's how he likes to do it. And the reason why he likes to build up fast is to beat the press, because teams are trying to press you aggressively. And the only way to beat the press like that is to slow it down, then speed it up. So as you can see, the doggy is there. The fullback is slightly higher up, and now you've got Maddison. His arms out. He's looking for it. He gets the ball on the half turn, and look how much space there is now. It looks like a counter attack. Like Liverpool on the back foot. All of a sudden, look, Maddison knows straight away what to do in space outside of his boot. Who does he find? I think that's Richarlison at the time. Richarlison. So Richarlison's on the outside. He's getting the ball.
What a left winger we got there.
I'm with you guys. If we improve on that front three, and you've got someone on the left that's decent, yeah, maybe it's Son, maybe it's someone else, I don't know. And then you've got someone that's in Son's position, like a striker, a proper 9. Maybe they can get on the end of something like this. And then you've got your fullback, your doggy's meant to be there, and on the right back, the right winger, who's meant to be Johnson, he's meant to be there in that space. So you've got 3 players that are meant to be at the end of something, and that's what's meant to be Ange Ball. And then you're meant to be like, boom, that's a goal.
Can I ask a question though, Smatty, before you go on to the other panelists?
Yeah.
Right. By what you just shown there, right?
Yeah.
I don't like. I'm not. I'm
No, you don't have to say that. I know what you're going to do.
I'm not there with it.
Yeah, I know.
By the way, well done. By the way, can everybody congratulations to that brilliant presentation. By the way, by my boy Ashmatic. By the way, yeah. So I want people in the chat to say thank you very much and appreciate and acknowledge my boy Ashmatic. By the way, but yeah, for me that just doesn't that you might as well just put Conte in charge. You know what I mean for that, yeah. But in that montage you just put, by the way, that montage you just put there, the strikers, the forward line needs to be better, right? Yeah. You put a Liverpool front 3 that all in tune right here, right? You're making that team look better, 100 times better, because you're putting the ball up. Maddison's putting the ball towards the wide, yeah, and rather than Richarlison, have a Mane, for instance,
right,
yeah,
right.
You have a Salah there,
yeah,
and maybe a Diaz or whatever, yeah. That makes a huge difference, yeah. When you've just got Timo Werner. Yeah, below average Shane Long, Richarlison below average Emil Heskey, right? And you've got Son, right? Who I'm not going to criticize because he's got his he's done enough. But at the end of the day, we need somebody else to put pressure on him. You know what I mean? What do you get? What do you expect? What do you expect? I'm sorry, it's poor. And this is why I can't get on board, because I can't.
But is that on Ange? Is on Ange as well?
That is on Ange, because the thing is, though, he's accepting this. And unfortunately, right, the buck always stops with the manager.
But can you see what he's trying to do? As in, like, if he has the players that he's meant to have to implement that style where we are fast and build up, and then you just have that quality up top to finish those chances off. Can you see what I'm going with? The whole 2 years with Pochettino, obviously,
but Pochettino made it work, bro. That's the thing.
I know that. I know.
Pochettino wasn't talking about systems. He wasn't talking about systems.
No, but to be fair to Postecoglou, he's not talking about systems either.
Yeah, I know, but unfortunately,
he's not as rigid as a Pep. Pep's like, you can't move that. But he allows his players to kind of roam and figure it out. He said, I want them to figure it out. I don't want to tell them and hold their hand. They need to figure it out.
But can I just say something though? The difference between Pochettino and Postecoglou, Pochettino would get a Dele Alli to work in his system. right, to work, and he will flourish. He will get a Dembele who's supposed to be a wide guy and make him into a midfielder. Yeah, he'll get a Dyer who's not a great defender and make him a midfielder. You see what I'm saying? Like a Eddie Howe, for instance, he'll make a Joe Linton, a striker, into a midfielder, and he'll make it work. You see what I'm saying? He'll always think of a way to use players that he's got to his disposal and make them who they are in his team. You see what I'm saying? At the moment, I don't see it with Postecoglou. I don't see it. And unfortunately, I can't get on board. And I know people are going to try and miss me right now, but I don't see it.
I hear it. Jay, I want to get Jay in quickly. Where do you sit on this? Because obviously I asked, is the future bright? Can Spurs, and you said that you need to see experience as well into the squad. But is there anything you think that in terms of moving forward with Postecoglou, is there any light at the end of the tunnel is what I'm asking, or is do you see
what you mean like
I remember you were hyping the numbers.
No, what do you mean like
already put Bergbo in, let's go.
No. The framing of the question. What do you, as in like, hold on. Anyone would think that we didn't improve last season on the season before. I think for me, yeah, it's very simple, right? You look at Chelsea, right? And I think Chelsea are a good example for this. You can look at the players that Chelsea had at one time or another, and they decided to, kind of like buying stocks. I don't know if any of you buy stocks, but you can buy a stock and you can leave it for 5 years, or you can buy a stock and you can keep trading them and, selling this stock and buying that stock and doing this, yeah? Right. The thing with Spurs' youngsters at the moment, right? Spurs at under 18s won trophies. Spurs at under 21 won trophies. Yeah. So it's feasible that these youngsters are actually very good. Very good versus their age group. Very good, period. Right? So if we're going young and we're saying, we bought Archie Gray, 18 years old. We bought Bergval, 18 years old. Yeah? Like, if these players are going into the first team, they're here to play, right? We can discuss the merits of whether or not they're good enough, yeah? Or whether or not we should have bought more experienced players. But if we're buying these players and we're saying they're going to play in the first team, the manager's going to live and die by these decisions. From a tactical point of view, yeah, like, I saw enough in the last 2-3 games of the season to know that we'd be fine, like moving forward, and that Ange is willing to switch things up and change things and, see how other tactics like feel and look. So to me, I mean, we're in season 2. If you look at all other managers who've tried to implement different styles of play for teams, yeah, it takes a few years, So I think if you're looking at what you want this season, you want improvement. You want a trophy, but you want to improve on last season, So that means getting back into the Champions League, winning a trophy. I'm not really worried. I'm sure we'll buy players. I'm sure we'll buy attackers.
What concerns you then? What concerns you? Is there like something when you're looking at Spurs against a low block, or if he gets injured, for example?
I've always been
the level dropped off when the fullbacks got injured or the centre backs got injured. So do we need to reinforce it? Is Basuma the guy to be the 6? I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but what are your concerns moving forward?
My thing is like whether what I want versus what I think is logical based on the evidence in front of me are two different things. Yeah. So if you're looking at the squad now, and you've got people might say, "Oh, I might sell Bentancur." You can't. It's not logical to sell Bentancur in this window when you've already got at least 2 18-year-old midfielders coming into the team. So if you buy another midfielder, you're basically trying to bed 3 central midfielders in one window. Yeah, it's a lot of players to blend in. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, so you don't want to give yourself more work than you absolutely have to. But
yeah, I agree.
But so I look at it just we've got players there who Emerson, Lo Celso, they won't be there. But you look at a player like Ben Davies, it's like, okay, yeah, sell him, but if he runs his contract down, like, and just basically gets dire minutes next season, does anyone care? Like it's one of those where we've got to do the bulk of the business now. I think we need that. I think we need that attacker. I'm a big fan of effectiveness over aesthetics. I think a lot of people are aesthetics over effectiveness. So I don't mind.
I want both. I'm not gonna lie to you, because for me, football is entertainment, but at the same time, I do want to win things. So I do hear the argument of numbers, like can he score goals? Can they get assists? What did they do last season? What did they do the previous season before that? So I do like a mixed match where like a player can get you off your seat, make you feel good, or you can embarrass someone and you get excited because that's your favorite player. You want to see them. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then at the end of the day, goals wins games, and that's the hardest thing to actually do. But we are linked, before I go to Jacob, we are linked to a couple fullbacks. I just wanted to discuss with you guys what your thoughts were on these particular fullbacks. If we could add competition, as Mr. Box Office TV always says, we need competition, not backups. We don't do backups over here. If we're going to do backups, we're not going to be moving forward. But yeah, we are linked with a couple fullbacks on them. And the first guy we're linked with, well, it's been a while now, but his name's Bradley Loco. Don't know if you guys have looked at him. Bradley Loco, he plays for
Stade
Brestesos.
Oh,
right?
Oh, I remember. Yeah, the jokes were.
I call it Brest.
The
Brest
jokes were abreast when we were linked with him.
Boobies. Boats. All right, cool. I'll get distracted. Left back, left midfield is where he plays. Where he's played him before, but it's predominantly left back. Played 79 games for this team in League One. League 1. 4 assists in those games, 1 goal. Plays in a 4-2-3-1. But when I did the research and I looked a bit further, I know it's a 4-2-3-1 and that's what we play, but they play a little bit more direct, where they play long balls into the front man, a bit like Tony. They play the long ball into their top man, and then the wingers invert a bit, and the fullbacks more or less play as wing backs. They get up and down, and the fullback and the winger on the right hand side is where they play through predominantly for their attacks, from what I've researched. And also they finished 3rd in that season last season, which is quite impressive for a team called Brest. Yeah.
I've heard of Brest, but I've never heard of them before.
I mean, the only time I saw Free Brest was in Total Recall. I don't know if you guys seen that film, but yeah, we moved.
Yeah, actually, I watched that a couple weeks ago. Actually,
I need to rewatch that. I didn't see that.
There's an old one and there's a remake. There's a newer one.
I'm talking about the old one.
Farrell.
I'm talking about the old one with the free.
They both have 3 breasts. Spoiler alert.
Oh, okay. But on the left hand side, you can see the heat map is rapid. He predominantly dominates that area. In the box as well, you can see there's a heat map there. There's a bit of red area there on the left. And by the way, guys, this guy is linked to a few clubs. I know Liverpool were looking at him as well. Similar time to when we were looking at him, because obviously they need to replace their left back.
Well, you know what they say, Ash, if we sign a kid that's not linked to quote unquote big clubs, then what the hell is Tottenham doing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they say.
Exactly that. But yeah,
at least Liverpool are looking at him. That'll give us some credibility if we do sign him, right?
This is it. If we get him, if we were to get him. Anyway, passes attempted was in the green. Passes completion, not bad, 83.4%. Progressive passes for fullback, again in the green. Progressive carries, he's good. He's a good carrier. He can move the ball. Successful take-ons as well in the green. Progressive passes received, so his first touch is good as well. Tackles, more importantly, can the fullback defend? That's what we want to know. We don't want a fullback that can't defend, do we? 91 percentile, ultra high, super high. So he's really good at defending. Interceptions means he can read the game as well. That means he's good at sniffing out an aerial.
Is that in his league or around the world?
That's against the top 5 leagues in Europe.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, aerial balls one in the air as well. That he's good in that as well in that department. As I said before, I put him against the doggy last season.
Destiny.
Matson, obviously, he's gone to Aston Villa. That used to be at Borussia Dortmund. Bradley, that plays at Liverpool. Semedo, that plays at Wolves. Jed Spence, obviously, that was at Leeds and Genoa. Here's his goal threat there. He's got a shot up there.
Boy.
Passing, as I said before, is good. He's top in that level when it comes to short to medium passes. And also when it comes to long passes, he's completed the most out of all those players that I put up.
Damn near double.
He's
Completed damn near double.
Yeah, he can do a switch of player ball over the top. That's in his locker. So it's good.
Damn.
Key
that's
passes.
A lot of long ball passing. That's crazy. Switching player, what? I don't know, but that was a crazy stat right there.
Yeah, it's good. He's good. He's a good passer of the ball. Is what we want to see. Key passes as well. So the pass before the assist, he's involved in that. So that's a good thing as well. And
I'm learning shit today.
Yeah, man. Also the crosses there into the box. Guys finished it off there. Another cross into the box. He can find his man there.
Nice little start. Hey, there you go, Timo. With that atrocious header. I can see it now.
So Brennan as well, because those crosses were shot.
Oh, he took out the camera on Spurs play for about 10 minutes. If y'all weren't watching on Spurs play, Brennan Johnson had a cross that went to the far side, and then the cameras went out. I was like, are they?
That's why I could watch the game. I was like, what's going on with the game? But yeah, now we know. Ball into a dangerous area, lovely with his left boot, outside of the boot there, into the space. Nice. Really good techers there. Successful take-ons as well, super high. And this is what I was talking about, competition for the doggy. Look at that. Better carrier than the doggy, better dribbler than the doggy. Are you crazy? These stats are crazy, but I mean,
how many is that per minute though? Because
I need to see it. Let's
look at it. Obviously, the first touch is there. Again, in progressive areas is really high.
How many minutes is this though?
At the minutes, I didn't put it on there, but the minutes he did play more than Udogie, so that puts it a little bit of a caveat on it.
Because he got injured there at the end and in the middle, and he had that one suspension. So.
He did play more minutes. He did play more minutes than that.
But this is exactly why we need a guy like this to come in if this ever happens. I mean, you're selling me, Ash. This is why I'm not on Shark Tank, but you're selling me. How much you want?
Well, I'm just saying that it's just competition. I don't know if he can. If he can meet the doggy on his toes, I'm here for it. But you can see him running through the middle there, passing the ball off. Again, beats the man, shields his body,
little tiny forward,
turn of pace there, good acceleration, beats two players there, down the channels, down the wings. Beats a man on the outside, gets the ball, picks it up first time touch. Look, good change of feet as well, quick feet. I like that. Cuts inside quickly, uses acceleration to get away from his players. On the outside again, goes one way, fakes the body, goes the other way, loses his marker, uses acceleration again to get away with it. Comes on the inside, goes on the outside of him, goes either way, outside, inside, down the line. Like super through the middle again, on the outside. That's what you want to see. So he's doing the inverted thing there, if you notice. So Ange likes to play the inversion. He's coming inverted. He's doing it. He's going inside. He's finding players into the midfield. Picks up the ball. Runs on the outside again. I like how he protects the ball. Here he is for under 21s. Just dribbling with the ball. Good footwork again. And look at that first touch over the ball. First time control. That was brilliant. I don't know if you saw that. But yeah, again.
I feel like this looks like what we were saying Jed was supposed to be like.
Correct.
Even though Jed never had these same highlights in any league.
Well, yeah. But yeah, that was his ball carrying. And again, I said you want your defender to be able to defend. And again, the numbers are night and day in terms of tackling and interceptions. You can see he can read the game quite well. That's what I like from a defender. But yeah, tackling, strong in the tackle, and also recovery. We spoke about it earlier in the show. We get exposed at times, and I spoke about that 2-3 shape. If he's if he's the third man in that midfield in that 2-3 shape, is he able to help out a Porro or a Mickey van der Ven, sorry, because he's a left-sided player, obviously, and he's a left back at a competition for the doggy. But you can see there by his recovery numbers that he's really good at that. Yeah, wow. He's really covering the ball in the air as well. He wins the most. Is a percentage. Bradley's slightly better, but again, there's a percentage per 90. He's outdoing your doggy, so that takes into consideration the minutes. But yeah, here he is in the tackle, strong on the tackle there. First person there to get the tackle, winning in the midfield to play the ball really quickly. Again, helping defense outside the box, winning the ball in the box defending, winning the ball high up again. Just quick transitions when he wins the ball and then he turns it into attack. Just helping his teammates out, getting the foot in, getting stuck in, going to ground there. But a lot of the time he's standing up, he's standing on his feet and he's reading the game. He's reading where the person's going to be and he gets that ball, he nicks it away and his timing is good. So he's got good timing when to nick the ball off that opposition and help his teammates out. There he is. The person tries to go on the outside, doesn't work. He recovers, gets the ball back, and that's his play there. Again, as I said before, that was his reading of the game, intercepting and getting high up. But that's one player, but there's another one we're linked with. So I'm going to quickly talk through them. It won't be long, guys, I promise, and then we can discuss it. So the next player we're also linked to, and I think it's a Paratici one. The first one could have been, I don't know, we could debate it, but the first one could have been easily a Lange recruitment. But the second one for me is definitely Paratici because similar to your doggy, this guy comes from Serie A or Serie A, whatever you want to call it. His name is Patrick Dorgu, and he plays for Lecce. He's 19 years old, Danish international for under 21s.
So
and
wait a minute. I know you just started kicking off this presentation, but you're telling me we're in for a dude that's from Brest and another one that's from Lecce, which Lecce is Espanol for milk. Is that what you're telling me right now, Ash?
Well, it could have been these nuts, but happens to be milk.
All right, I'm sorry. I just had to stop you. Hey, wait. You said Lecce. You said breast. I mean, I was just feeding a baby some breast milk earlier today. As my world's colliding, you know, it's bring them both in as far as I'm concerned.
Breast milk. Yeah, we move, man. We move. But yeah, Nigerian descent as well. So could be an age mate for the doggy, you know. They could sit down and eat some powdered yam, some agusi.
We've also got a Danish spot open with Højbjerg leaving.
Oh, he's 6'2". Oh, similar height. He's eating powdered yam, so he might have a similar physique. He's played at the left back.
19. He's still gonna grow too.
Still gonna grow, man. Still gonna grow. Left back, left winger, left midfield as well. So those are the three teams occupied. So you know, when you're looking at a certain techie player. Also scored. He played in the 4-4-2, but has played in the 4-1-4-1, and also played in other positions as well. So left mid is that what I'm showing there. There's his heat map again. Predominantly on that left hand.
Not as spicy.
Not as but again, what I will say about him, he hasn't had as many minutes as the other fella. The other
hard to make that, hard to fill up the heat map when you don't get as many chances.
That's right. But you can see the games he has played. Again, he's been linked. Sorry, before I go any further, he has been linked with a team that we're up against, Liverpool. Again, Liverpool was looking at him.
They are in the market for a left back.
They are in the market for left back, so it makes sense. Barcelona and who else? Maybe Bayern, but Barcelona definitely. But yeah,
Bayern if they sell Alphonso Davies for sure.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. As you can see here, progressive carries in the green, successful take-ons, 64 percentile, touches in the penalty area, 72 percentile, progressive passes received, 64, tackles, really high, but compared to interceptions of the last fella, not as strong. Clearance and his aerial balls won, really high, 88%, so even better than the last guy there.
To me, interceptions usually means that a player's reading the pitch really well.
Yes, you've got that spot on.
We're getting straight A's today, boy. Come on. Yeah. It's just like high school should have been, but I didn't pay attention as much as Ash. You should be a teacher, man. You got me. I'm enthralled. Like I'm a visual learner, so that's what sucked about school was like all the words and the books and the shit. I hated that. But this with the numbers and the graphs and the colors and the photos of the player,
it makes sense,
bro,
right?
you've got me.
It makes sense. We can look at numbers and we can visually look at them as well to see, you know, does it marry up what we're reading?
The eyes and the stats. Yeah.
And we marriage it together and then make our own judgments off the back of it. So then now this is him versus other midfielders in the top 5 leagues. So we saw the fullback and this is against midfielders. So against midfielders, obviously passes aren't as strong, but carries 82 percentile, successful take-ons 68 percentile, touches in the penalty area 72%, and progressive passes received 92 percentile. So his first touch is there, and that's why I always look for in a player. How do they receive the ball under pressure? Because when we're playing certain teams, Man City, they play possessional football. Liverpool play possession football. Arsenal play possession football. West Ham are now converting. Do you understand? There's so many teams that are trying to adopt this possessional type of football. How are our players under pressure? Can they beat the press? Can they? How is their first touch? If their first touch is good, that means we can move the ball quicker. They can make their minds up quicker. They can see the game quicker. We can move things forward. Aerial 1, so his ability in the air, 82 percentile clearances, 97 percentile for clearances. But this one we're gonna go straight into. So look at the footwork. Look at the footwork right through the middle.
Oh, is that Basuma? That literally is just a mirrored version of what Basuma did this preseason. And then went around the keeper.
And again, what?
Excuse me. Hey.
I'm over commentating. I'm just saying words.
Hey.
I'm saying letters.
He big bodied through that one. That last highlight, he was big bodied.
I look at the physicality of him. And he, believe it or not, he's 6'2". But what I like about him,
I believe he looks larger than half of them kids out there.
What he does is he drops his shoulder and he drops down to have a low center of gravity, and that's what gives him the advantage of his opponents, and that's why he's got good close control. And then he stands up, and then he can beat the player, and then he makes a
beautiful. Look at that. But the flow, like sometimes it's a perfect balance, right? When you cross the ball, when you do the aerial cross,
right?
You want it to swing with some curve. You want it to have some air, but not too much air. Brennan Johnson, and that looked like a beautifully little lofted after what was that 45-yard sprint with the ball, 2 men on him.
That's what we call it.
That's a pretty good little cross. You want a little bit of air on it to float so your man can run through it. Hey, come on now, talk to me.
Let us dream for a bit. You know, it's depressing times right now. So I'm looking at him. He's getting to the byline and he's fizzing the ball. And guess what? They finished.
That's a Timo Werner, Brendan Johnson special right there. That I just
is that not as ball? I'm just saying.
I call that I call that a Timo time. That's what that is.
Look. I'm not here to gas. I'm not. I'm just saying. In the system, if we recruit White, and he's 19, guys, so he's raw, he's young, but could we? I don't know.
You know, to your point though, Ash,
go on, sorry, Karen, go on.
No, to your point about our recruitment in general, you know, everyone wants to give plaudits to Aston Villa, but they've scooped up 2 of the players we were first linked with when we implemented this new system last season, and Samuel Billing Jr. from Juve, and Jaden Philly-Jean from Hull City.
Philly-Jean's going to be amazing.
There's also Jonathan Rowe still out there, who was another name that we were.
He's going to be good. But yeah, sorry, go on, carry on. Sorry.
And now West Ham are going for Somerville. So
yeah,
and West Ham, it's not like they're lacking on wingers with Kudus and Bowen. So again, the hope for me, at least, that you know, if we're looking at these players and the clubs that we're giving plaudits to, for, you know, they've made history. They're playing in Champions League football, so congratulations to them. And you know, that gives me hope that at least the scouting recruitment, if the numbers are pointing us in the same direction as the clubs that are doing the things we're talking about trying to do, then I think that that's a good sign.
Yeah, we can only hope, bro. I don't know. Obviously, you know, I was Tottenham are, so. But yeah, but anyway, we move. So as I said before, he lets the ball run across his body there, and then look, bang, in the challenge. Here he is using his strength, shrugs him off inside. Look at that upright body, and on to the next man like he's not there. Look, shimmy.
Is this
shimmy here, shimmy, beats that man. Look,
is this like a tournament or like U19s or something? Why are they playing on
this is under this footage here is when he's in in Denmark, and he's playing for the Danish. He's he's in Norway. He's playing for a Norwegian team. So that's something.
Okay.
He's mad young, but here he is in Italy, and look again, floating those balls over the top. And don't get it twisted. This kid, like I've read the scouting reports, and he's shit hot. They're saying a doggy V2. That's what they're looking at. And the reason why they're like, listen, you know what? With a doggy, obviously he had a high ceiling, and you know Tottenham are doing their thing. But I'm hoping if we can convince this kid to come and say, look what we did with doggy, we can do that with you. The reason why he hasn't left this particular team yet is because he wants minutes. So that's the only stumbling block. But we need to kind of present a project where you can say to him, you're going to get minutes. And look what we did with your doggy. But yeah, here we go. Little link up play again. Look, looking for the ball in between the players and then
inverted. And he wasn't the overlap.
Right.
Again, as a left back, like you want the overlapping fullback or you want the inverting one. And we obviously run with the invert. He looks comfortable in that same area, but there's also something that all these good positive points that you're mentioning about his game are literally all the things that when you said Destiny V2, I mean, all the same things. He shows power on the ball, ability to retain possession through the press, ability to turn, run, find those passes, link up play, invert into the midfield. These are all the things that Destiny does super well. So it does seem like this makes complete sense to me.
Right.
Again, Ash, you're selling me. How much do you want?
I'm just saying, look, like that's the scouting reports that I've read. That's who they're comparing with him, and there's a lot of hype with him because I think Liverpool wanted to buy him, but the reason why the agents rejected it straight away is because they wanted to put him in their academy, and they were like, no, he's too good for that. He's way too good for that. We don't want him in any academy, and same with Barcelona. And so now, look, reading that ball, good interception there, and starts the attack. Boom, leaves him for dead. Leaves him for dust. First touch, look, pirouette around, boom, gone. Again, look, inside of his boot, pirouette around, and then starts the attack. Defense to attack. Boom.
I love a good turner with the ball, man. I love a good turner with the ball. Tina Turner, talk to me.
Hey, listen, come on. In the midfield again.
Hey, hit him with that Tina Turner.
He's thinking he's dancing. Look, I'm just saying, look, there's potential. The kid, I don't know.
I like it. There's a comment there that says Dorgu or Loco. And for me, if we're legitimate, I'm getting both.
I'm just saying, look, one's a bit more raw, one's got a bit more experience. We can talk about it. Look, he's intercepting the game, gets the ball, finds the ball, look, finds his man, look, and again.
Look at that. Look at that position that he was in.
I know.
That last one.
I know. Sorry, that's what you're getting. Sorry. Tune in next week for more of Ash. I'm joking. So, guys, look, we're going to put the question out. One's got more experience. One's a bit more raw. Darryl Bradford, big up with the question. And that was my question before. Dogu or Loku? Pick one. Who would you guys go for? Would you go for the one that's got more, games behind him? Defensive stats look really strong as well. And he's better passer as well, better passer of the ball. So you got the Porro with the passing, you've got this guy with the passing, provides defensive stability, or do you go with this guy who just looks like he's about to explode on the scene? If the doggy gets injured, it doesn't matter. The doggy might be wide for his position now because he's got a fella Niger that's slightly younger than him, that's from the Igbo tribe. You know what I'm saying? He's not from Yoruba, he's from Igbo. So then he's like, right, you know what? I'm going to have to step my game up. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm going to start with you, Mr. Box Office. Where do you sit on this one?
On the basis of the manager we got, I think Loco looks more for me. The thing that I noticed, that the other player was absolutely fantastic, by the way. I have to say this, absolutely fantastic. I don't know whether it's because of your presentation, Ash.
The presentation,
but
also interested in Liverpool.
The way that he controlled that ball, it just gave me vibes of what I was seeing in the 90s, mate. Honestly, just the way he controlled that ball was just, oh my gosh! Just compared to what we've got, oh my gosh!
Are we allowed to dream? Are we dream?
Heavens above, heavens above.
We're allowed to dream.
Honestly, that sort of skill is the sort of skill you've seen from David Ginola, mate. That's what I'm
The way he
saying.
turned in, like the way he
Just
turned.
turned.
It's the
You know what I
turn.
mean? That is just absolutely, honestly. But yeah, I think if we had a Pochettino, Eddie Howe, right, that
It's still
second
cooking, yeah.
player, perfect, because you can work with him and make him better. You know what I mean? You know, you're not going into like Grealish and like telling him to play in Pep's system. You're saying, bro, you've got the skill, you've got the quality. We got to enhance that now to turn you into like a Cavascalia. You know what I mean? Not like Cavascalia, the winger, Cavascalia, that fullback that will go past it like a Roberto Carlos. You know what I mean? You know, that's what the levels we're trying to talk here. You know what I mean? To try and get you up there. You know, those levels. You know, and someone just mentioned Atlanta. I mean, I think yeah, if he goes to Atlanta, like what was his name, Gasparini would be taking him and trying to work on him and make him better. You know what I mean? Like he's done with Lookman. You know what I mean? But for me, when I looked at Loco, I saw him doing the inverted a lot of the time, as well as going wide as well. And because that's Ange's system, which don't get me started, because I think Ange was embarrassing.
We've been through this. All right. We get it.
You know what I'm saying.
We get it. We get it. We know.
But you know, I love you. I love you. But the thing is, because he's doing that inverted thing, and he seems to do it naturally. You know what I mean? I think that would be more perfect for us at the moment. You know what I mean? Because he needs people that know it. You know what I mean? So that's why I say Loco. That's the only reason. But I was
loco, crazy,
but I was very impressed with the other guy. And if we had a proper coach, and I don't know about the coaching, I mean, if he was coming in the preseason tour right now, if we bought it, because
this is my thing. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Because remember
Newcastle.
You want
in
players
January,
like that right now, listening to Ainge.
Bro, what we doing?
Went to Dubai for a week. Yeah, look how they improved their form. Look how they improved their form with a week in Dubai. You know what I mean? This is so important. So if we had
some say it was the magical meat
in
that Mikel was gargling, but
in preseason tour, right? And the coach just got him, and not trying to focus on him trying to do this inverted all the time. Just say, we've got the skill here, we've got this. We'll work you inverted. Yeah, but we just need to just enhance that. Just enhance that. He will cause so much problems, because when he's doing all that skill, what are the defenders doing? They're watching him. So who's free? The wingers, aren't they? You know what I mean? Because they're all focusing on him. They're all focusing on him, isn't it? You know what I mean? So you know, because we've got the wing backs we've got at the moment, and if you have Emerson there or Davis there, they're sitting there thinking, well, he's just going to pass it, isn't it? But you got him, Doku. Dooku, whatever his name.
Bye, Davies. Have a nice time. Thanks
It's
for
like
the memories.
all the players are like starting to. All the players are like starting to focus on him. They're focused on him, so it's like they're trying to tackle him, and even he'll get fouls as well. They'll get fouls as well, so we get free kicks as well.
Players to him, they were like, "Oh, we need to double up on him," and then
exactly. And so who's his face? Who's his face? Because they're focused on him.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. That's why I say both great options. But if I had to pick, it has to be Loco, just by what you're saying, because he looks oven ready at the moment, and it just really fitting him in the system. Just take it from there.
All right, cool.
That's
Jacob.
Yes, sir.
Who you doing? Are you going Loco crazy? Or are you going Dogo?
I'm taking them both. Hey, can I take them both? I know that no one said that was a third option.
Spencer's meant to be cooking. I don't know. I'm joking.
Hey, but
what I'm saying is, you got two left footers there, so you got to pick one, because obviously we've got the doggies a left back, and there's only room for one more left back. I know you're saying, Rob, what would you put one as a left winger? Is that what you're saying? Is that why you want to take both?
I would let buddy, the first one, Loco. I'm letting him explore that left wing option, because all the things that you showed in that first highlight reel, or I've never seen Timo Werner do none of that. And he was the overlapper. And you look at the heat map as well, that fucking touchline, bro, was rubbed raw like my pants, like my inside of my pants when I go on a jog in this middle of summer out here in Texas, just rubbed clean raw. And honestly, you don't want to take a player who's obviously cooking doing that and then all of a sudden say, okay, now do all of that, but bring it more into the center of the park. Because once you do that, then that's really going to change, what they're actually trying to do on the pitch. And I think that Alex made a good point with Dorgu, if that's his name, Dorgu. I like that Dorgu. All the things that he did well, the turning with the ball, all the stuff that I've seen him do well in that mixtape you just played. Destiny does, and it'd be nice for him to have an understudy, and who knows, you sharpen diamonds with diamonds, and I think Destiny is a diamond. I don't know about this young man if he is a diamond, but if he is, it's only going to make Destiny that much more sharper. So I'm absolutely all for it. I would say you do both, but also Alex brought up a good point that I didn't even think about, but yeah, both of them, Dorgu especially, would be the sort of deals you want to get done before you travel to Japan and Korea and wherever else they're going, because you want them absorbing all the information. Again, with Brendan Johnson, part of the pass that he got with some people was oh well, he didn't have a preseason. He got here, he was training for Nottingham Forest, and like I can understand it from that aspect, but when he comes back from a full offseason, he didn't play in the Euros, but he comes back from a full offseason and he looks just as average as he was previous. To me, that's not a good sign that he didn't progress in any manner, even especially when we're playing weekend competition. Not Marines, Midlothian Hearts and QPR. They're nowhere near Premier League level, and he looked the same. And to me, that is a clear indication that something's not working. I think Mikey Moore, whether this be an indictment on our club or it speaks to the skill that this young man has, I think he's our best right winger at the club right now, in Mikey Moore, which that is a problem. And then if Son's going to really be our number 9, which I prefer him to play a left wing, but if he's really going to be our number 9, then Timo Werner at the left wing doesn't work for me either. So what I saw that guy do are all things with the ball that what's his name has never done. Timo Werner, at least that I've seen. The first touch, Timo Werner can only pray that he gets reborn as a footballer with that first touch. So, yeah, man, I'm saying get them both. Fuck it, bro. Y'all get minutes. Trust me, there's plenty of minutes to go around.
By the way, Ash.
Go on.
By the way, Ash, you
go on.
don't need a lot of pace to be a great player. You just need skill, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And this is the thing that I think people are missing. Yes, you need people at pace, but sometimes you just need a good football brain and a bit of skill, and does a lot to someone's brain. Yeah, that does a lot to someone's brain. I think the difference is right now we've got players that are not clever in there at the moment.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because when a team's weak, they don't you know what I mean? Don't do. Sorry if that looks a bit violent, but you get what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Hit it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's the problem we have at the moment. We don't have killers. You know what I mean? To say the pun, because I don't condone killing.
What's your thoughts on Bergvall then? What do you think of him? What do you make of Bergvall from what you've seen so far?
He's all right, but I need to see him in the next couple of seasons. I think this season might be his breakthrough season, yes, but like I say, with people like you see Colton Palmer at the moment that's had a great season last season. Yeah,
I hear you, but I mean like your first thoughts. I hear what you're saying.
My first thoughts, I think, is he's overhyped.
Oh, is it? Do you?
I think he's overhyped. I think he's very much overhyped. I think he had he's had a good season from what I heard in was it Swedish League or something, Swedish League. He's obviously got great credentials, and everyone's are really popping them up a little bit. But we all know. I mean, I put an example out like Odegaard. He
Mm.
looks like another Odegaard for me. And look
Mm.
how Odegaard taken so long to find his place. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah.
I
Now,
think Odegaard had a better season last season. I mean,
yeah,
season before. I think
yeah.
this season was a bit different because obviously players start to clock onto him. But I don't know. Like when I look at Bergvall, this is my initial thoughts from what I saw him, and we can quickly look at the quick little thing that I've got there. It's just showing him on the ball. I felt like he wanted it a bit more. Like he shows for the ball, and he plays it early. They kind of like look at him in the six there, in the six, taking off the centre back. And then he's spraying it. I like that he's the one commanding the ball, saying, "Look, I'm going to take."
And it led him doing that led to a direct opportunity at the other end.
This is it. So I like that. Those type of
he did that.
balls.
The calmness on the ball, the ability to receive the ball under pressure, turn with it. Bro, he was beating everyone. Again, this is against Hearts, so like I do want to temper my mood with it
as well, because I hate
but the intangibles are there in regards to like the ability. It's just can he do it versus the actual genuine competition? I don't know. But what I did like in regards to Lucas Bergvall, even in the match that he started, and it was what like 20 something minutes before. Technically, he got hurt and subbed off when the cameras were down at Spurs play. So I didn't see him get hurt. But literally the first 20 some minutes of that match, he was involved in everything that we did, defensively and offensively. So he's clearly in the role that will be heavily dictating what happens and what goes on. But to me, he looks like he's occupying a lot of the same areas that Basuma or Sarr would be asked to occupy, and dropping deep like Madison would be asked to do. And in a lot of respects, I think that people forget. Ainge said he doesn't want 6s, 8s, and 10s. He wants 3 midfielders who can do all 3. So I think that's what he shows, that he can do all 3, in my opinion. Now, the final third we'll find out, I guess, because I haven't really had a whole bunch of chances to see that.
He did make a very good cross for...
yeah, that's true. He did get
I can't remember what game it was. Was it Hearts or was it...
Hearts game. It was Hearts game.
Hearts game. He did a really good cross, and I think it was a goal. I think it was actually a goal.
Yeah, it was scored. I took notes. So
Scarlett got the header, and the keeper saved it, and then it went on to
tapped in.
Dorothy was there to finish it in. Yeah.
It was a very good goal.
Ashley Phillips.
Very good goal.
Yeah.
And
you said Dorrington was Ashley Phillips.
But I do feel that he has got something about him, but I think there's also something as well that he finds he's trying to get used to the intensity, and this is again. I think the problem is with him at the moment. People have really gone over the top about him.
Yeah, but don't worry about what people think. What do you think? That's what I want to know.
Well, for me, I think
we're talking about the fans. Forget the fans. What do you think?
Oh yeah. To answer the question,
I don't mind it. You go and you say, you rant about the fans. I don't mind. But in this particular show, I just want to know your football opinion. I want to keep it about.
I think he's got something about him, Ashmatic, but I think I need more.
I know you need more time, but I'm just saying your initial reaction.
My initial reaction, I think he looks okay. He looks okay, and the games that he's played, especially against Arts, I think he has made some good movements and good at.
You don't play like an 18-year-old. That's for damn sure.
For me, I tell you what I like about him, not just the fearlessness and being bold and just getting about the place. Upstairs, you can see the picture really quick. That's the reason why he's able to do those first-time passes. And sometimes it's like, okay, maybe not a first-time pass now. Maybe I go back where it came from. And then sometimes he's like, no, let me travel with the ball. So he's got good decision-making. That's what I like about this Bergvall at the moment. Like when he's in the middle of the pitch, he knows when to slow it down. He knows when to do a short pass. He knows when to switch it. He knows what areas to pop up in to find space in between the lines. And he knows when to pick it off the set in the back into the fullback. That positional play, like, Basuma's not there. Let me drop into the 6. Do you know what I'm saying? I saw the little link up. I'm not going to lie. I know you're not a big fan of Kulu, but I saw a little Scandinavian link up in the midfield because Kulu, for me, he's very like slow when he's out wide, but in the midfield or in a false 9, that's when you see Kulu come alive a little bit more.
I guess you're good, right? They're saying. I guess sorry to interrupt you. I guess you're right in what you're saying when you made that crossing for when he did that really good cross at
Scarlett.
Hearts.
Yeah,
Scarlett.
yeah.
That shown. Sorry, you carry on, mate. Sorry to
Yeah, no. You're right. No, I'm just you're piggybacking off what I'm saying. That's cool. So I'm just saying, like, when he's in different positions, he shows quality, is what I mean. He shows it's not like he's just I can make decisions quickly upstairs, execute them, see the picture quickly, show that I've got football IQ, know when to make those runs into space, etc. Because that's another thing, knowing when to run. Some people will run too early and then they lose the space and the person doesn't pass to them, etc. And then also I like the fact he's hand gesturing. So he shows like he can dictate. From the little piece I've seen, I'm thinking, okay, he's showing murmurs that he wants to be the man that controls the game, control the flow. He understands the game state as well. Like he seems like he looks at the game and he's like, all right, cool. Maybe now's not the time to do this type of pass. Maybe now's the time to do this, X, Y, Z. So the little bit I've seen with him, like you said, that corner, that cross, the quality of the ball, I like that he has quality to go with the nous upstairs. And the fact that whatever situation he is, he can figure it out quickly. Because the first, for me, 5 or 10 minutes, I was like, oh, he looks like he's struggling a bit. But as soon as he figured it out, and it was like, oh, okay, this is what the game's about. He was able to kind of swim. He didn't really sink. And also, I like the physicality of him as well. He's not scrawny and he plays very upright. When he's kicking ball, you know, some players, they play with their head down. He plays with his head up. So his vision is there like 24/7. He can get the ball, receive it, get on a half turn, look for a man, link the play, do little 1-2s, keep it simple, and then sometimes advance it, slow it, and speed it up. So that was from what I saw, the little cameo against QPR, and then also against Hearts when he played a little bit longer.
Can I also come to another thing as well? Yeah, because you made some really good points there, right? Yeah. He's using his hand gestures.
Yeah.
He's scanning the play, which you made very good points on that you look for in a player.
Yeah.
It goes back to what I said before. Having an experienced player that's done it before was one similar to him, guiding him. You know what I mean? Because
it goes back to my Pochettino. Who was the experience? They just got like, I think with Ange, he just wants players that he can mold, because if you get an experienced guy, they're harder to mold because they've got baggage. It's hard. Like, imagine I'm trying to teach you how to bench, but you've been benching, or swim, but you've been swimming for years now, and you've got bad habits. Now I've got to coach those bad habits out of you. But when you're young,
you're saying the breaststroke.
Yeah, the breaststroke's always the best stroke, you know.
Hey.
All right, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? It's harder to train bad habits out of people when you've got an empty canvas. You can, like, do you know what I'm saying? They're more coachable and they're hungry. They want to learn.
Yeah, like Pierre-Emile Højbjerg has tendencies. He's been a hardened rock into his tendencies, and like he does what he can do well, but the other stuff, if he's trying to do extracurricular, you see what you saw last year, a damn spoof reel. And the guy's not a bad footballer with Højbjerg, but it's just certain players can't do that.
Yeah. Skips especially, I can tell he's being coached. Like, and even like Gallagher, players like Gallagher and Skip, they're very similar in the way they've been coached. You can tell, when you get the ball, mate, none of this turning stuff. Play it back where it came from. You know what I'm saying? When you get the ball, I want you to do a 30-yard pass over the top. Yeah, brilliant, Skip. Well done. If they see him running and doing a little steppy or drop it, what are you doing, mate? Stop all of that nonsense. Bro, I've seen it, bro. I've seen coaches, and they're very archaic. But you can tell these kids, the way they're being coached is a little bit different. Their first touch, how they're scanning.
There's something going on, man. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not trying to gaslight. I'm caveat. I'm just making points because obviously I could be in the mud real soon. Yeah, when we play Bayern Munich, you're like, listen, these kids ain't got the physicality, they ain't got the energy, they ain't got the legs, they ain't got the technique. Once they play against better opposition, they're falling off. They ain't got the mentality when the fans are booing them. Blah 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 blah. All these external factors.
No, I don't think they're going to find anything by that Bayern Munich game, mate.
No, they won't. But I'm saying, like, against bigger opposition, like for example, Archie Hall, he looked quite good, but then a QPR, he made a mistake. Does he recover? Does he get back into the game from that? I don't know. But I'm just saying, from the Bergvall, from what I saw, I'm thinking, bro, you know what? He looks a little bit different to the academy boys. Maybe this is the reason why they kind of brought him in, because he's just got a level of tech that's slightly different to your Skip. You know what I'm saying? To your Højbjerg. You know what I'm saying? He's just got a different attitude as well. Because I remember Højbjerg used to do this, pointing. You know what I mean? Now, take the responsibility, like own it. And I like that about Bergvall. He's like, give me the ball, bro. And you could just see the aura.
He looks calm. The calmness.
Because everyone watches football differently. But I'm looking at him closely. I'm linking, right, there must be a reason why this kid's being hyped. I ain't seen it from everyone's hype and Gray. I ain't seen it because he played centre back. So
I like it. I like what you're saying.
I can't talk on Gray. But Bergvall, I've said, right, the little piece I did see on him.
I think it's good though, Ashmatic, what you're saying, and I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I still go back to the experience because I think at the moment he looks like he's got arrogance.
Wrong, by the way. You're not
wrong. He's got arrogance. Jorginho, okay, put a Jorginho with him, right? Who's at Arsenal at the moment, right? You put a Jorginho with him at the moment, right? He's teaching you.
But Jorginho lacks legs, energy.
I know, but I'm just saying that with that know-how, but with that mobility,
I hear what you're saying.
Know-how,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Because he's gone through.
I understand your logic, and you're right. You're not wrong. I'm just.
You put even with those two midfielders, and he's won. You're sitting there looking at him saying, "Oh, okay, if I follow that, I'll do it my way, but the way that he's got around his thing, and that's it. He's going to get injuries as well. Because with that skill he's got, yeah. If players are going to be on him, you know what I mean, chomping at the bit, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And he's going to get frustrated as well, because if he's arrogant, he's going to get frustrated. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes you need that experience, and this is why I say.
But that's like what Madison's supposed to be. I'm not saying he is, but he's supposed to.
Unfortunately, he's not that guy. He's not that guy, Jacob. He's not that guy.
Jorginho, bro. Jorginho ain't gonna run up and down the pitch.
Jacob, he's not that guy. If he was that guy, you wouldn't be at Tottenham. Yeah,
it's that simple. Yeah,
I don't agree with that, but I hear you.
Guy.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Proved it last season. And there's one person that I know that's in most of the chats. I think you know who I'm talking about. A Leicester fan told us about this guy. Yeah, and even Jay said it as well. So for me, George, he would slow down the play. Yeah, is correct. But
what I'm saying is. And I'm going to play a quick video before Jacob goes, so I know you need to leave. Basically, the style of a Bergvall puts pressure on Madders.
Yeah, true.
Great is meant to be the pressure for Basuma. I'm going to play Basuma real quick because obviously people have been dunking on my guy in it. But I understand why. But why has he done it like that?
Busy redemption arc.
Oh, the video's come out weird. Anyway, I'm still going to talk on it, but I don't know if you could. I can't see.
It just looks like someone smushed it a little, Mario.
Yeah.
Style.
Oh no, I had it good, man. Oh,
I see him cooking. No,
you missed the skill because everyone's already talking about his goal, and no, he didn't. It's not showing the same.
Bro, he could have had 2 goals on the day. He did the same exact thing he did for the first goal for his goal.
I know it's the same exact thing. But look at this. You can use his body.
That was nasty. Yeah. This was the one I'm talking about. This was that was so nasty.
I know what man's saying.
Run that back. Run that back.
People say it's QPR, but listen,
I don't give a fuck, dog. I don't give a fuck.
If there's a better opposition, it's the principles, it's the characteristics, it's what he's doing at the time on the ball. And here it is. Look, he gets the ball.
Busy. Can't you see?
He anticipates him coming in, stiffens up his core, protects his body, makes him short, so it makes himself hard to beat. Then he's got enough ability to beat
one more.
Got you
through the legs. Whoopsie, gets it, stands up. Another man comes to take
strong
it.
Again.
Doesn't matter. Beats him, shrugs him, beats him. Does a little shimmy. Boom, drags him.
4 men, 5 men, 6 men.
Then plays the pass. Doesn't lose it. Doesn't like when I'm playing football. You're like, don't lose it. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. You put the pressure on your 6 because your 6 needs to be technically good. So I saw that. I said, yeah, look.
But also, your 6 isn't supposed to be carrying the ball through 4 men like that. That's my whole point. Ainge doesn't want a 6. He does not asking Basuma to be a 6. He wants Basuma to be everything.
Like, here he is.
That's what he said.
He comes inside, boom, gets the ball, runs up, and then makes that through ball.
Disgusting.
And then that can start the attack into Kulu. Boom. Then look, Sonen's on his bike. That's what starts the attack. When you got a technical man playing from a 6. But I know the caveat with Basuma, it's almost like he's a summer guy. When things are good, he plays well. But that's why I say Archie Gray and Bergvall coming in is going to put pressure on. That's what I like. I said, yes, you know what? Now you have to step up, Basuma. You can't, because if you're not playing well, you're getting dropped. And this is what I want to see. I want to see competition. Look at it. Look, first touch. Whoopsie. You see that? That little drag back. They call it a V cut. The little V cut. Hold on. People don't know the skill. The V cut. Gets the ball, he V cuts it. And
you know who I remember doing it the most was Ronaldinho. But he did it in one motion.
All right. You remember it. Now here's the goal.
Yeah.
First touch. Fakes one way, beats him. Boom. Comes in. Gets the ball back.
How many 1-2s does it get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
And you know what? Some man would shoot, like a Werner would shoot, and it would hit the keeper. Even Son in that game.
Werner hitting a fan. Keeper. No, a fan's getting a souvenir if Werner does that.
Composure in front of goal. He's gone round him and he's putting in that. People I don't really rate the finish. Brother, I like to see man.
He could. Goal, that was disgusting.
Look, comes in, drops his shoulder.
With the shimmy.
Love that.
Good. First touch. Radical. Whoopsie.
Number 6 got to do better there. Number 6 does have to do better there. I'll be honest. He's worried about Son, but number 6, he looked like he was like, and then he went and it was too late.
Look, I'm just saying, I know like defensively,
but he was cooking.
But on the ball, I'm saying, look, Ange's ball, and he's got competition. We might see a different bit. I don't know. But if he doesn't perform, I'm happy for him to get dropped. Do you know what I'm saying? And the kids have got legs and energy. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm throwing it out there. I'm not saying
that's the key, though.
Better next season. But I'm just seeing small little antidotes. And I'm like, right.
But all the things you showed there, minus the goal, is stuff that he was doing the first 9 games of the season.
This is the problem.
It was like I think it's a mental thing.
It is a mental
thing. I feel like he has that in his locker. He just wasn't doing it for 80% of the season. You know what I mean?
It's a problem. So, I'm happy. Listen, I'm happy.
And now you have people exactly. If he's not performing like that to that standard versus whoever it may be, it doesn't matter who your competition is.
When you've got players that are all techie, because before we had the Skip. You know what I'm saying? In the midfield, and you're Hoyke in the midfield.
Clunk. Bowser. That's like asking Bowser to hit you on the half turn.
Moving like that. Their heads moving like this. Like stiff. Tin Man need oil. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we really doing here? Are these the right players when they come off the bench to implement the style that the coach wants? I'm just asking questions. I don't know. I could be right. I could be wrong. And I'm saying, you add a few more guys like that've got legs, got energy, their heads swivel like this, like the lighthouse, like looking left and right. They can scan the pitch, first touch on point. Then we can beat presses, we can move up, and we can unlock low blocks because that's where we struggled, in my opinion. Like when teams come at us, we can play the ball, but when teams sit behind, you need ballers that understand space, movement. And they're not always going to rush. Sometimes they can put their foot on the ball. Like I said with Bergvall. Bergvall can put his foot on the ball, can slow it down. I call it the La Pausa. La Pausa, when you stop and you wait for the movement and then you play the pass. He's got that in his locker from what I can see. And then
timing, man.
Yeah, timing.
That's confidence. That's confidence right there.
Then sometimes you might have missed a chance that could have come if you didn't slow that game down, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I'm not super mad at it. Like, I'm just saying, I'm not super mad. And I do agree with the comments. I do agree with what people are saying. We need experience. Mr. Box Office said it. I'm not saying we don't. We do need experience. But if we do get experience, I want experience with legs and I want experience with a certain amount of tech. Do you know what I'm saying? It ain't got tech. Yeah. I'm not interested. I'm not interested.
Well, speaking of experience, this has been one hell of an experience. I feel like I've learned and grown as a football watcher. But I do have to jump. My wife's got a client here coming up, and so she needs a studio. But look, I do want to say, Ash hasn't said it once. So I just got to make sure y'all get reminded. You bozos in the chat, you better be hitting that like right now. Because Ash is out here cooking, he's teaching, and he's preaching. While you reaching, he's teaching. All right? So come on. Hit a like for Ashmatic, Spurs King. It costs absolutely fucking nothing but the movement of a finger. Now, if you got arthritis, you got carpal tunnel, I'll buy it. I'll say, okay, you get it passed. But get your caregiver to hit the fucking like. No excuse. You're frauds. But Ash, it's been absolutely fantastic. Wow, man. I will say this, and I'm gonna say this as confidently as when I say Mikey Moore is the best right winger at Tottenham Hotspur right now. I say it. Again, it's either an indictment on our club for the lack of talent in the first team, or that just means that we have English Lamine Yamal. I'll let y'all decide which one that is. But Ash, I say this as confidently as saying right now he's our best right winger. You are by far, I think, the most underrated panelist, and it's so great to see you finally getting what you deserve, getting some shine. They're showing you on the big screen now, baby. You out there in the big leagues. You on ESPN top 10, like my boy out here killing it. So it's really beautiful to see because honestly, you've been mad underrated. Spurs Kings is mad underrated. So the fact that you've got 100 people watching your show at this juncture, that just speaks to the level that you are getting, and that this is where you're at, but you've already been way beyond that. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So, Ash, I just want to say, man, it's been a pleasure to watch you grow throughout this. And the sooner the world gets to know Ashmatic, the sooner the world can heal and be a better place, is the way I see it. So thank you. Alex, big up. I got all the love and the time in the world for you. So big up, Alex. And Jay, even though I think I heard about 15 words from Jay tonight, big up him anyway. So
love for the love, bro. And keep on chatting, broski. Same. Take care, man. Cool. All right, box office. I'm gonna close it, man, because obviously I want to end it on the energy was right. I feel like we spoke some things, I tried to make it a little bit different. I don't like to repeat the same show, otherwise, with other shows. There's no point people coming on, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we move, man. And you got anything coming up? Anything you like to share before I move on? Anything to get off your chest? Any last thoughts?
Just before, because you were speaking about what midfields are going to come in, I'll tell you this for a fact.
Yes.
Even though I think Lo Celso needs to leave, if we're going to get Jacob Ramsey in, I'm sorry. Again, it goes back to the whole coaching thing again. And as far as I'm concerned, we can't handle people with arrogance. We can't handle it because this guy Lo Celso, doing research on him, it's embarrassing. This guy's won trophies wherever he's gone.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing. He's gone to PSG, won trophies. Argentina won trophies, and he was influential in the Copa America as well.
Did he win on Emery?
Yeah, I think he did as well. I think he did.
I'm not sure. I need to research that. Yes, big up yourself, my brother. Yes, man. Big up.
But regardless, I know Jacob Ramsey could be a good signing. Some people have said it. I think someone, as Pers has said it in the chat. But for me at the moment,
as well, man. Big up Hotspur.
Yeah, big up to him.
I'm gonna bring you on, man. I ain't seen you for a minute. Go on.
But I just think for me, he fell off at Aston Villa because he wasn't in the team, and so now he needs to improve even more now for me. So that again comes back to coaching, and we're letting go of a player like Lo Celso that obviously just wants to play and win, and I don't think we can handle players with arrogance. I just don't think we can.
I'll give my thoughts on this because Jacob Ramsey is a funny one. Lots of people think he's average. They don't rate him. I think he's 23 years old. He's still quite young. He's old enough though. He's not like mad young, but I rate him higher than most people rating Conor Gallagher. I think in terms of ball carrying and dribbling, he outstrips Conor Gallagher. In fact, he kept him out of the England under-21 side when he was playing. And I remember when Jude Bellingham was coming up, there was no hype about Bellingham. It was all about Jacob Ramsey. And obviously, he had two recurrent injuries that slowed him down massively. And that's why the recency bias ain't really there. Kept him out last season. Goal scores, not super prolific, but I think he's a better finisher than Conor Gallagher. And everyone was raving about Conor Gallagher as a 10 at Crystal Palace. Jacob Ramsey has got a left foot and a right foot. And I want to do a video on him because, again, he's someone that understands space and knows when to run into it. And for me, I think he's the closest thing I've seen to, and I don't know if you guys rate him in the chat. Oxlade-Chamberlain when he was at Arsenal. The physicality he has and the way he carries the ball and he runs straight. You can pick the ball up from deep and start attacks. And then in tight areas on the wing, on the sides, I remember he scored a goal against us. That's why I remember him so much as well. He taught us a lesson. So I was like, wait, this Jacob Ramsey, I'm so glad. When I remember we played Villa last season, he didn't feature. He came on second half, but again, he was coming off the back of an injury. So I was happy that, you know, he wasn't involved because I thought he's a problem. But that's just my subjective view on him when I watched him as a footballer. And I hear where people are like, oh, does he move the needle? Is he good enough? Like, I hear it. But at one point, he was meant to be the guy. Whether he can get to that level now is down to him. Lange has obviously worked with him, and that's why Villa fans are going mad. They're like, no, he's one of our own. He's one of a brother from Birmingham. He's one of our boys. But look, that's just my small thing on Ramsey. I think he's just much level. If people want, and I understand why the people want the Conor Gallagher, because Conor Gallagher in a 10, not as a 6 or an 8, because I don't think he's a 6. And then for England, we can see like back to goal, he's not good. Like his first touch is not technically. I don't think he's what we need. But in terms of like energy, tenacity, mentality, just, you know, being a nuisance, winning the ball back, covering for fullback, traveling well, getting assists and goals, getting in that particular, in the final third, when you got Conor Gallagher higher up, he doesn't look as bad. But I just think Ramsey's better than him in the final third. I think he's a better player.
I think again, we're going back to the whole thing though, Ashmatic, though, that he needs to bring his game to another level now.
He does need to bring his game to another level.
And that again goes back to the coaching again. You know what I mean? Yes, the player can do it himself, but
I don't think he needs as much coaching though as some people might think. That's my opinion, though. I just think.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that?
I think he gives problems to Sarr. That's what I think. I think Sarr, if he comes in the team, like Sarr's got something to worry about, in my opinion. Because Sarr, for me, needs to box crash a lot more. If we're talking about box crashing, Sarr needs to do that a lot more and get more goals. Do you know what I'm saying? I think Sarr needs to add a lot more creativity in his game as well. And I haven't mentioned as well, Jacob Ramsey's recovery runs in terms of defending, just as good as Conor Gallagher, if not better.
Okay, that's good. That's good. But what is he going to do the other end of the pitch, though? That's the point I'm making.
That's what I'm saying. In the final third, he's for me left. What do you call it? Ambidextrous. You can either finish with his left foot. His left foot is as good as his right foot. He plays with both feet. That's one thing I would say about Jacob Ramsey. That's one of his strengths.
Okay, so that's cool. So if he's as good as what Sarr's got, right, he can recover himself. But he can be dangerous on the attack, and he can be better than what Postecoglou can offer, right? Okay, that's what we're looking at here, because we need someone to compete.
The profile, he's got legs, got energy, the box crasher. That's Ange style. We don't stop. He likes players that are going to arrive a lot, but have like a bit of technical ability about them. Like his close control is decent. He's got a decent like. When he gets his first touch, he's able to stand a man up and then drive and then beat 1 or 2 people, not just like on the wide areas, but in the midfield as well. So I've seen him do it predominantly, though. The only caveat I would say is I've seen him predominantly do it on the left-hand side compared to where Sarr operates on the right-hand side. Not saying he can't do it in both because he is both-footed, but just from what I've visually seen him in a game, like in game, real game time. But Villa fans will probably tell me different. Yeah, he's operated both on the left and the right-hand side. But for England under 21s, he was one of the bright prospects. Do you know what I'm saying? But I can say that about a lot of people, that those people don't rate. People don't like Morgan Gibbs-White. I think Morgan Gibbs-White is a deep lying playmaker at times, but then he can also play as an attacking mid. Like I think he's got a lot, and he lit up the under 21s when he was playing for England as well. I think he's better than Conor Gallagher, but a lot of those are people aren't talking about him. But that's just my football opinion.
Okay, I'm gonna. I know you want to end the stream, but I need to ask you some questions. Yeah, I want to try and test you out. Try and put you a little bit on the spotlight a little bit here. Yeah. Okay, so if you had your choice, right now, right, and you had loads of players on the table that you scouted yourself, who would be your pick for that because we play three midfield, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who would be your pick, right? And you could choose anybody in the team that we've got at the moment, or anybody that you scouted who's in other teams at the moment, even if ones that are not. Who would be your perfect midfield right now?
Perfect midfield. Right now, I like the look of Andre. I think he's amazing. He's a Brazilian player, plays for Fluminense. I think in terms of aggression and tenacity, he's got bundles of it. But he's also got legs and his ball carrying, his dribbling, elite. Do you know what I'm saying? And people are screaming for a 6, a 6, a 6. I think he's like what Ange's looking for, a mixture between a 6 and an 8. If you're looking for someone that can, push Basuma, I would have Andre. Like if it was a senior player coming in, do you know what I'm saying? For me, he's a guy that comes in and helps Spurs like a ball winner, but a ball winner that can play out from the back, a ball winner that can carry the ball winner that can dribble, a ball winner that can carry the ball. Like I really like the look of him. Similar to like a Gomez. Gomez again, he's Brazilian, played for Wolves. I thought he was immense against us. Every time I was like,
he's fantastic goals there.
Why does Gomez look like? Why does Wolves look like they got a better midfield than us? Every time I'm playing them, when we played them away from home, I don't remember we had Højbjerg, and Betancourt in midfield. And the way Wolves were just pressing us and then winning the ball back, and the way they gave City so much trouble. And I said to Deepa, I said, Rob, what's going on? Semedo is looking dope. Gomez is looking dope. And they had another brother, I forget his name. All three of the midfielders just dominating us, had energy, legs for days, running, non-stop. I said, brother, I need me some of that. So, like, again, if I'm looking for league experience, I wouldn't be mad at Gomez. I think he needs to add more goals to his game. But for a 6/hybrid 8, if that's what you're looking for in terms of running the midfield, I wouldn't be mad at it. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be mad, and I'm going to contradict myself, but it's just the type of player I think we need. Because I want the Mats Weaver that's gone to Brighton, but a Zubamende, I don't think he's physical enough, but he's a different profile in the midfield where he can switch to play. He can make from deep. I like players that can, like, because we've got a lot of runners. And when you dribble, because that's what Spurs are, we're like, we want ball carriers, we want dribblers in the midfield and on the wings. That's what I've noticed. But we haven't got a lot of players that are good at it or elite at it. And I think, like, if you want to change the game up and you don't want to lose that battle in midfield, sometimes you need a person that can offer something a bit different. And I think Zubamende in that midfield, deep lying, can spray balls over the top, diagonal, switch to play. I think Spurs were the second lowest team in terms of switches to play. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool were first. So sometimes when you want to get out to your wing,
surprised though the way we always invert and they was in midfield. Yes, surprised.
But this is why I don't. No, you're right. But this is why I wouldn't mind a deep lying midfielder that offered something a bit different, that could slow the game down and it could speed it up and could have a different range of passing. I think he's amazing at doing that in the midfield. So, like, yeah, I wouldn't be mad bringing a different type of profile in that can offer that type of midfield. We did look up for Fofana before. I think he's a good fit. But by the looks of it, I think he's going to Napoli, or I think Man United are on for him as well. But we move. But yeah, there's quite a few players. There's quite a few players I like. I just, off the top of my head, I've actually gone blank in terms of like actual players to replace Maddison, because that's the player I like. I like Eze as an 8 or /10, if you want to call it that, because I think with Eze, he has a bit of trickery about him, if that makes sense. And he's got goals as well. So he's a player that, unlike Maddison, he could drop deep, but he can dribble past a man. Like, he will dribble.
Look at that connection he had with Ivan Toney and Harry Kane.
Yeah.
In those little few moments against Switzerland.
Yeah.
Like Switzerland, Ivan Toney and Eze only had a few minutes. That's all he had. And look how they connected to score that final goal to get us the winner for England.
I think with Eze, he solves so many problems with us. because I think we've got a problem in the front line. He can do that. He can play left, but he doesn't hug the touchline. He's a player where we've got wingers that run in behind, if that makes sense. He's not but he's a different profile. So if he gets the ball, he's gonna not run in behind, he's gonna dribble the ball, he's gonna carry the ball. So that gives you a different attacking option, and it gives defenders something else to think about. And also he can draw players to him, which free up other players like a Maddison that might be in the midfield behind him in the 8 if Eze's in the left wing, and could even free up the number 9, whoever that is. If it's Son or if it's Richarlison, or we get the number 9, he solves that problem as well. So, and then if he's a number 8, again, I've talked about this thing called La Porza. I think he adds that as well. At times he gets on the ball, he puts a foot on the ball, he can slow it down, and then he can find players in the forward line with vision. So that's a lot of people haven't seen that with him. He's actually got vision as well. So when you've got a player that can do the wing role, add something different on the wing, but then also as a number 8, they can also add something different in that play in the playmaking area, then he just solves so many areas. He ticks so many boxes, in my opinion. So that's why, like, for me, Eze wasn't, and also the rhythm as well. He understands about feeling the game, knowing when to do things. I think that's really good. And combination play, how knowing when to link up with players, to drop the shoulder. It's not like he just drops the shoulder and does it all himself. No, he wants to bring players in. Do you know what I'm saying? Take players out by doing that. And he can feel, just by feeling the game. I can't really describe it, but that's something that
you're talking about the telepathic thing, isn't it? With
it's
like Son and Kane. It's like Son and Kane, like Andy Cole and Dwight York. You don't talk. It's just like you just know.
Right.
You just know.
And then just to add to that, because I'll wrap it up soon, but just he loves the ball to feet, and he's a consistent finisher, but it's the ball retention. A lot of times Spurs would lose the ball in the attacking positions, and then that's when we get hit on a counter attack, or we just lose momentum in the game because it just breaks down. But because he's so good at understanding space, he's in the pockets. I call it the pockets, the little half space where players don't know whether to mark you or stand off you. He understands where to be. Do you understand? Knows when to arrive into those spaces, and that's what makes him so deadly as a player for me, in my opinion. So he's just a missing piece of the puzzle. I can't speak more highly of it. And if you watch him closely, you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like I can't say any more. I can't really say any more about the player, but
yeah, like, I know you want to wrap up. I know you want to wrap up, Ashmatic, but I need your expertise again, yeah, because the chat needs, because they need your golden advice here, yeah. So I'm going to put another stickler for you right now, yeah. If you had the choice of your strikers, your 3 strikers at the moment, you could pick anyone else. Anyone else, right? Anybody, right? Who's your strikers?
At the moment, for the players that are available, I will go for Guy Correz, only because, and I'm going to explain about Tony. I think Tony does a lot. Tony does a lot well. What Tony does is he's an old-fashioned number 9. His dribbling as well, Tony's underrated, in my opinion. Tony's dribbling is underrated because when he holds the play up, he's able to beat a player. He can drop his shoulder, go either way, step on it. Like what he does when he gets the ball, he steps on it. He steps on it, and then he's able to. I've seen him do it. I can't remember what League One club he was playing at. Was it Notts County? I can't remember. If it was Durham, I can't remember. But he was showing like his confidence and his ability when he was younger. Obviously, he was at Newcastle as well in the Championship. He was the main man there, and then obviously at Brentford, the people have seen him in the system that he's in now. But I like the way he can bring other players in to play. The way he can switch the play, he can drop the shoulder. His passing is elite. Do you know what I mean? I think you get a lot of that physicality. He's way more physical than Kane as well. Than Kane was. I think he's got a bit more acceleration than Kane as well. Tony has. Knows when to arrive in the box and blah, blah, blah. But with a Guy Correz, the reason why I'm going for Guy Correz, I just think he suits Ange Ball slightly better, in my opinion, only because with Guy Correz, he can play in wide areas. It just reminds me of what Kulu should have been. So he's got a lot more explosive than Kulusevski.
Yeah.
faster than Kulusevski, but has the strength of a Kulusevski. Imagine Kulusevski with a bit more acceleration. Do you know what I mean? Like can get away from his man, a bit more speed. Let's just call it a spade a spade. Kulusevski with a bit of speed. This guy, though, he's not afraid to shoot. So for me, Guy Carrez, on the wide areas, he can play it. And then as the number 9, he can play it. And he's got the physicality to go with it. And in the air, he can header. I said, bro, you're ticking so many boxes. And then obviously he's a playmate of Bergvall. You know, Bergvall, Swedish connection. I just said, yeah, it just makes sense, man. I want to see it. But I know like the price tag is unrealistic. So Tony is more suitable, and I'd be more than happy to go over Tony. I think Tony completely changes the way we play. Because when the ball, for me, in my opinion, went into, and I think Richarlison got better at it as the season went on. But at times when the ball was fizzing to Richarlison, especially when he was going through his mental health, he kept losing it. And that's when things broke down. And then before you know it, we're on the back foot. Anytime we got into him or Son, it would break down. And then, that was my opinion of it. But Richarlison's not available enough, in my opinion, as well. He's always picking up injuries and stuff. It's not good enough.
I think it's just the arrogance for me that I would all day long
mentality
with Tony. I
Yeah.
know it's a risk. I know it's a risk.
It is
This is why I'm saying he needs small wages, because he needs to convince us. He needs to prove himself, because unfortunately, recent bias. Unfortunately, he's let his eye off the ball a little bit. Unfortunately, and I think because he wanted to leave Brentford, but for me, I just think we need a different character in there just to shake it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think just to add on to that, with Tony, what I like, similar to Eze, because he was at the lower levels, he had to struggle.
Yeah.
And we see when you're at lower levels, you get dropped. If you're not performing, you get dropped. You see in your League One, especially as a striker, if you're not performing at League One or non-league football and you're a striker, you're not banging goals, you get dropped quick. You know what I'm saying?
Because the difference is because you're playing with players that I've got to pay a mortgage. You know what I mean? And you know, if they're doing badly, it affects you, isn't it? So they can't. This is why I think most of these young players have to go to.
Owen had to do it.
You know
what I mean? I'm saying? All from the Championship, from the lower leagues, they brought their way up, man. I like players that kind of come from nothing.
Which is Eze. What Eze's gone through, like I said, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he got dropped to Arsenal. He was an Arsenal boy. He got dropped there first. Went Fulham, got dropped. Went Millwall, tried to get a trial, got dropped again. Boom, not good enough. Do you know what I'm saying? Got a trial. Someone saw him. I can't remember where they saw him.
I think it was Ramsey.
Saw him, and it was like, get a trial at QPR. Got a trial at QPR. And then like they were like, yeah, we like him. We're gonna. And they spoke to his mum.
Ramsey, the guy.
His mum believed in him. He spoke to his mum. Was like, yeah, we really like your son. We're really interested in your son. We want to give him a contract. But obviously, you know, we want to ask your permission. Is it all right? And she just, there you go. And the rest is history. And that's the only reason why he's humble like that. You know, obviously he comes from a Christian home and that's why he's got the good guy vibes. You know what I'm saying? Gives to charity a lot. Is all of that. And I know you prefer arrogance, but he understands like where he comes from and how hard he had to work. And that's the reason why he's the way he is. Do you know what I'm saying?
There's nothing wrong with him being humble. It's nothing wrong.
No, I'm just explaining the foundation, because I know you prefer a character where
it's not. Listen, I think Elisa, I think Eze with a team that is won. You know what I mean? Like a Man City, and you got players that are winners around him. Turns him into that, can get him into that next level, maybe.
I don't know. Say if he went to Man City, he might get the Grealish treatment. Mate, you got to stay.
You're right. I mean,
I'm putting you in the system. You can't move left, right. At least with Spurs, he gets freedom. Have the ball, mate. Go on, mate. Have the ball. It's up to you. I'm going to hold.
Okay, if it's a Pochettino, listen. If you put,
I don't think Eze needs coaching. This is the thing. I don't think Eze, because I know what you're saying. You coach. I don't think Eze needs coaching. Eze is a creative. He needs creatives. Just need freedom. Let him have the ball. Let him figure it out. And I think that's where you get the best out of Eze, in my opinion.
Well, so then you're saying like a Harry Redknapp then sort of type player.
Yeah,
that's the thing. But
yeah, so
would he get that? Would he get that? Would he get that freedom at Tottenham? You see what I'm saying? I don't know.
For the reasons I've explained before, I think he will get the freedom, because I said like the versatility in an Eze, what you get is, I call it the missing piece for a reason. I honestly think in the left hand side, he can do a lot. He can do a lot as a. He's not your winger that you run in behind. He's not going to be that type of winger. He's going to be slightly different. I think as a midfielder, he's not going to be a midfielder that, like, he's able to dribble in from deep. Do you know what I'm saying? He's able to figure things out for himself. He's a maverick, bro. There's no other way about it. He's a maverick, bro. Come on, he's a maverick. He's a maverick.
Listen. I think it's because I've had so many, because we've got so many bang average wingers right now, and I'm maybe I've lost the hope a little bit on that one. To be honest,
I hear it, and I don't know if we'll get him, but I'm just saying if like he's different to Lo Celso, because I think Lo Celso is one-footed and he has to get onto his stronger foot to make the pass or to carry the ball, whereas Eze can go left foot, right foot. He can dribble. He can play on the right. He can play on the left. He can play just behind the striker. If he's in that front three, if he's in that three, him, Son, the doggy, you've got flexibility there. They can all interchange in positions. Do you know what I'm saying? He's got poacher instincts as well. That's one thing I haven't mentioned. He's actually got poacher instincts, in my opinion.
So do you think you'd be better in that number 8 role, and then he can float? That's what I'm saying at the moment. He can float.
I think so. You put him in the 8. You move Maddison out into we do 2 8s, because I think what we really cooked against Villa, we had Kulu and Lo Celso both in the 8s. Now imagine the doggy. Imagine Eze and Maddison in both 8s. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna be mental. It's gonna be.
I think I can see the vision what you're saying at the moment, because at the moment I think if you put an Eze there, you've got then Kulu looking at it and thinking, Maddison thinking, And you know what I mean? It's either they're looking at them as their enemy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, their enemy. And it's like then they're cooking together, because I was like, well, you're not getting better than me. Okay, yeah, you're not being better than me. You know what I mean? It's like, and then Maddison's like, because is it a case of they need to talk to each other, or is it just going to be telepathic?
That's what I'm looking at, the build-up play and also the composure on the ball as well. Anticipation of things coming in, like, challenges coming in. The way you will look fake to make a pass and then drop a shoulder, and then that thing that you saw that you really liked in that fullback Dorgu that I showed you. That's what Eze does all day long. When he just pivots, gets the ball, goes one way, and then he fakes to go one way, and then he travels, and then he's out of that position. I'm going to pass, or there's nowhere to turn. All right, let me just hold on to it for a second. And then he comes out of that, and then he can run up the field. That's what you're going to get he's not going to lose the ball. Do you know what I'm saying? So the build-up play for me, for Eze, in itself is a weight worth on gold. Do you know what I mean?
I see why people are saying what this. It should be a standard signing for us. So but I see why people say that it's a big lift if we do get Eze, because he does.
Do you remember the goal he scored? And he scored a bicycle. It was like a bicycle kick. He scored like a brother. He scored like I can't remember who it was against. I don't know if it was like an aerobatic kind of bicycle kick he scored in the box. I think he scored a hat trick that game. I don't know if it was against Fulham or Aston Villa. I think it was against, I don't know. I can't remember who it was against, but he scored a hat trick that game. And he come back off the back of an injury and still managed to pick up double numbers, because he was injured for half the season, if you remember right. When we played Palace away, he wasn't playing. We're like, thank goodness Eze and Elise ain't playing. Do you know what I'm saying? And then he come back. I think it was the first game he came back against us, so we were well into our season by then, the second time we played Palace. And he comes on and he bangs a free kick. Yes, it's nothing, isn't it? Man just did a little tea celebration. We're like, all right then. You know what I'm saying? So when you get players like that, you're like, rah, he transform. And also with Eze, if he picks the ball up in the 6th role, you know what Maddison does? He picks up the fullbacks. If Eze is doing that, he's not losing it, and then also allows Maddison to play higher up. And if you got Maddison higher up, Maddison outside the box shooting or Maddison finishing is not bad. So the problem last season was Maddison was way too deep. Now all of a sudden you've got Bergvalls, you've got Eze's. You know what I mean? I don't know what we're going to see of Basuma, but I'm saying you've got more players with technical ability that can not lose the ball in those areas. Maddison ain't got to drop no more. All of a sudden, it feels like we've got another attacker.
And I guess with Eze as well, if he's doing all that skill and stuff, all the defenders now are worried about him. You know what I mean? And then it gives
This is what I was saying.
playing.
This is it. This is
Gives
it.
him more space as well. You know what I mean? Like I said with that other guy. Remember that? Yeah.
He just solved so many so many things that have gone. Oh, it doesn't make sense. Like he's the missing piece, in my opinion, and I that's how I see it.
I see where you're coming from. To be
equally,
honest, I see it now.
Equally, you could go the other way, like how some players, Eze comes and all of a sudden, he struggles against the low block. I don't think he will, but all of a sudden he hasn't got the same space to move into blah blah blah. I think me personally, he hasn't got that problem against the low block because he's that good at dribbling. He's that good at dribbling. He's that good at link play, and he knows when to dribble. He knows when to link play. He's clever upstairs, but he's instinctive, and that's why you can't coach that. You can't coach players that are instinctive.
No, you can't.
You can't coach a maverick,
yeah,
and he's a maverick. But I'm not going to talk about Eze no more because otherwise, it just what I mean. And he might stay for Palace for another season because everyone's like,
no, you know what? It's just the way that the reason why I asked those questions because I just wanted to just get your brains and where your head's at, and what you think is what would be a perfect thing for Ange. Now, you know my feelings on Ange, but I just wanted to get your picture on it. And from what you're saying to me, Andre, I mean, I mean, maybe backstage we need to see because I've not really heard about him, but it's interesting you just mentioned him. Zupermende, I'm not really too familiar with him. Gomez, I know a lot. From what I saw at the stadium, Wolves
just suits it.
When I saw him him against us,
box to box,
he was brilliant. Him and Neto,
him and Neto,
absolutely brilliant.
I said,
honestly,
you put that in their midfield. That's Ange. That's what Ange wants. Energy, non-stop, back and forward, up and down. If he ain't got the ball, they're running to get it back. The tenacity of Gomez as well. That's what I like. The aggression to get the ball back, the ball winning. I love it. That's the type of player I want. And if you got players that are just nasty and hungry and want to get it back and then guess what? You're going to be able to teams are going to want to play Tottenham. They're like, oh, you know what? Not Tottenham again. Oh man, that's how it used to be. You used to be like, oh man, not Tottenham. We used to be so aggressive, so aggressive. But that
was under Poch, wasn't it? That was
under Poch. We were so aggressive. That's what I liked. He made us before. We had a soft underbelly, not under Poch. We were physical. We were tough to beat. You know what I'm saying? Then we had quality on top to put the chances away. So there's a lot of work to do. We're very far from those type of days, man, in my opinion. But it's just down to the next three signings are going to be very telling. So this is the only place where I get to dream and be deluded slightly. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I just think, unfortunately, that Timo Werner signing is just, and I don't want to make it. I don't want to make it about him, but unfortunately, he's just limited us so much, and that's it. Because, like I say, we've got Solomon there, and Timo Werner there, Johnson, who are all now here, maybe for next season now, with Richarlison, who don't look like he's going, Son. So you've only got one spot at the moment, and I think then you're adding too many forwards into a bloated squad as well.
We need to get rid of players. I think
it's just limited the quality of the strike force. And like I said to you, Ashmatic, you saw that if we're going to play in moments, you need a good front three to capitalize on those moments, and that's what Liverpool have got.
Yeah,
that's why Liverpool have won it for them. They've always got a great forward line,
even when they play us.
When they're playing rubbish.
We had 10 men against us. Remember?
Yeah, exactly.
10 men Liverpool caused. But I was so shook. 10 men. I said Diaz.
We were there. Yes. We were there. I was talking to people, and you saw people saying, "Oh, it was an embarrassing win."
Oh my! I was so happy when they took off Salah. I was like, "Oh my, thank goodness!" But I was nervous.
Diaz was giving us a new one.
Oh, and
Diaz was giving us a new one.
Yeah, she scored. That goal wasn't even offside, but we move, innit? And that was when everyone was hyping. Oh, no. Remember? Oh, yeah, we got to do it. Yeah. But I said, nah, bro. We're not there yet. We're not there. I've seen it from my own two eyes. We're not there yet. We still got some work to do. But yeah, man, I'm going to end it on that, man, bro. My broski, man. Good to link up again, man.
Yeah. But before you end, you got a show tomorrow, bruv. that you haven't even mentioned anything about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We got a show tomorrow. We got rivals tomorrow. We do what we do. We talk football, and I want to see what fans are saying from opposition. I want to see what Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans got to say about Spurs, where they think we are. I want to hear what Liverpool fans are thinking about their season. They signed no one either, so they're in a similar. Well, they're not in the same boat because they're miles ahead of us but they've got a new manager, a new coach. So I want to hear where their head's at, and I want to get into Man City a bit as well. There's going to be loads of fans, man. So we'll talk about Manchester United, Aston Villa, Newcastle will be there. So we do, man. We debate, man. We debate.
Yeah, Toon Tactics causing mischief like he always does, isn't it?
You know 100%. I mean? You know he'll be there.
And Chinks getting rattled like he always does as well, isn't it? You know what I mean? And Big Preach telling me that I need to still support Big Ange. Well, it's like my dating life, you'll be waiting for a very long time, bruv. You know what I mean? Waiting for a very, very long time, bruv. You know what I mean? You know? You know what I mean? So, but big up to everybody in the chat. Big up everybody. Big up to my boy Ashmatic. Yeah, appreciate him and acknowledge him. Yeah, because you know what I mean. You know you don't know how long you're gonna have him for. You know what I mean until he goes to ESPN. You know what I mean and go to the big leagues. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. You get what I'm saying?
You say Michael Richards and them, man. I wish.
Yeah, exactly. We're rolling with the big timers. Yeah, yeah. That's what happens. You know what I mean? So appreciate him for how long we've got him, and that's it. You know what I mean? Also, Marlon as well. Yeah, the most underrated guy. You know what I mean? Lazy now. He's off on holidays now. It's holidays. Yeah. You know what I mean? Leaving the man them to do his work. You know what I mean?
We're in the trenches. We're in the trenches right now, bro.
In the trenches, yeah, bruv. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, just a little note, Mr. Box Office TV. Yes, he's going on tour soon. Where you'll see a more relaxed side of Mr. Box Office, and that's it. Maybe a bit of a video on what he does on the day when he does on the days out, and that's it. You know what I mean? So a little bit of more different content, still top content.
Cool run-ins, yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. You know what I mean? Yeah, in the Caribbean, Jamaica. Spoiler
Don't
alert.
Don't tell them too much.
Oh yeah. You want to keep you guessing, innit?
Press the chest, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, big up the chat though. Like I haven't got all the chats and I've been terrible. I was on it at first, like I was like, after a while, you get into the show, you start asking the questions, you're like, yeah, man. But listen, big up yourselves, big up everyone. Thanks for making the show what it is. You helped me flow with the show as well. But yeah, please do make sure you like, you share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, you know, tell your mister, your sister, your significant other, and the one that you're chasing as well, man. But yeah, man, we chase dreams here, man. Come on, you Spurs. Come